That's it. We are live today, the 12th of July, 2018. It's Thursday, 12th of July. It is ladies' night today. We're still waiting for a few ladies to join the panel, but on this panel so far today, we have Roxanne Glen, our Patricia, Lisa White, and Bling Bling.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so everybody hot then? Because it's hot here.
Yes, it's very hot here.
It's only 88. It's a cool day here in Southern Florida.
Oh,
what do you mean?
90.
Only. Well, because it's usually 110, with the heat index. So this is a bearable day.
There goes my whole clip. Let me do
Yeah, you lot do have you have air conditioning in your place.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We don't. We've got it in our cars. We've got fans, like Lesia's in her bedroom just there. She had one going a minute ago. But I don't think a lot of people here in the UK have air conditioning in their houses.
You couldn't survive here right now without it. It would be unbearable to sleep. Oh, can't imagine.
I haven't got it. I haven't got air conditioning. It's about 26 degrees in my house. Bearable. I've got a little party. It's not too hot. Cool.
Well,
yeah, I just wanted to say a shout out to John Smith Global Eye, who's in the chat room as well. And where is he, Roxanne? Tell us where he is.
He is somewhere on the Isle of Skye. I can't give you the exact location, so I don't know. But he's somewhere up on a high hill, somewhere in the Isle of Skye. It was debatable whether they were going to get a signal to tune in, and I'm pleased to say that he tuned in. So awesome. He's with Mark and Aaron as well. Aaron was involved in the activism that Victoria just did at Southport Air Show. And they also did activism the following day. And Aaron was also down in London at Speaker's Corner as well. So he's like a serial activist like Harry as well. And they're joined by Mark, who's there's content of Mark on John Smith Global Eye's channel. He did a video with Mark as well. So if anyone wants to get to know Mark a little bit more, scroll down John Smith Global Eye's channel. And John Smith, you're a moderator in the chat. So I'm assuming you could probably put a link to that channel, and then he's got bits and pieces that they did up there already on his channel, so you can see how that tour's going. That's the Scottish Highlands Flat Earth Tour 2018. I don't know if there's been one of those before, so I think with the ladies' night, with you, Karen, being a bit of a pioneer with the ladies' night, it looks like Harry's the pioneer of Flat Earth tours, because that's the first one I've heard of. I don't know about anybody else, but
taking it there. Well done, Harry. And we're going to be hopefully linking up with Harry on, which day was it again? Tuesday next week.
Yeah,
I'm still away, so that'll be good as well to actually talk to him.
And you know what, throughout that tour, hundreds of red pills are going to get popped. Hundreds. That's like 2 weeks straight activism. No going home, no taking a day off. Activism, eat, drink, sleep. Activism, eat, drink, sleep. So you can only just imagine the amount of numbers of people that are going to know about Flat Earth after this tour.
Even more than before.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just a little bit, a lot.
Which is cool. And are you going out to hey, there's Patricia Steere.
Hey.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Oh my God.
It's always that iconic voice. Hello. I can't do it.
We need to sing
Hello.
We need that Cool in the Gang song. You know, it's ladies' night and the feeling's right.
I was boogieing.
Yes, it's ladies' night. I love it.
That's better.
Oh, what a night.
I know. I'm not a singer.
Don't get me to singing. I will sing, and I'm not a singer. So
right.
Yeah,
I'm actually a great singer when I'm in my shower alone. At least I think I am. But
you are a good singer. I've heard you sing when you sang "Happy Birthday" to Mark. It was great.
I was pretending to be Marilyn Monroe. So,
but you can carry a tune. You actually sounded really great.
Yeah, thank you, liar.
I sing as flat as the earth. So
that's a good thing. So what's
Yeah,
everyone talking about? I heard Roxanne before I joined talking about Speaker's Corner, John Smith Glove Lies, activism. What else?
He's tuned in. They're on the side of a hill just now. They've already woken up hundreds of people, and he's got a guy on the Flat Earth tour with him that was down in Speaker's Corner, up on Southport Air Show. Like, there's a couple of serial activists with him that are just like on it. So this is like 2 weeks of non-stop activism, eat, drink, sleep, activism, eat, drink, sleep. So Karen was just saying that I think John Smith Global is going to be on what day did you say it was, Karen?
Tuesday. We're going to link up with him on Tuesday to ask him how everything's going, and hopefully he can show us around a bit. And yeah.
I emailed him a long time ago. I don't even, I'm going to say 6 months plus to ask him to be a guest on my show. Either he didn't receive it or was hesitant to say yes due to the fact that there was a lot of pressure from a very high profile flat earther who will remain nameless because I don't like to name and shame anybody, who was in his corner at that time, but who would have frowned upon John coming on my channel, and also gave him a hard time when he made a positive thank you comment to one of my positive comments on John's/Harry's channel. And, John got called, or Harry got called on the carpet by this high profile flat earther for just even kindly acknowledging my great work, thumbs up comment. So maybe John might agree in the future to come on my channel. It's hard to stop saying John and call him Harry, but everyone knows who I'm talking about.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we were only just talking about that on Monday, right? About, people swaying people to stay away from channels, not watch channels. And I spoke a bit about that with you the other day, and saying I'd even been steered away from the Mark's channel by other said high profile content makers, shall we say.
Said he never got your message, Patricia.
Well, I would understand if he just decided, that's kind of too much of a hot potato to touch right now, and I wouldn't.
Says Patricia, I'm sorry, I never got the message.
Well, that's cool. A lot of times when on my YouTube, when I get messages to my misssteere@gmail.com, everyone's got a Gmail account if it's tied to your YouTube. Some of them go into spam, and some of them go into like a third category, and I never see them. I only see the ones that go right in. So maybe mine went in there, or who knows what happened, but it doesn't matter. I've always enjoyed
it's okay,
what he
Patricia,
does.
he's made contact now, and
yeah. I enjoy what he does, and maybe he even feels almost overexposed now because he's going on your show and he's with Roxanne, and getting talked about too much can make you can put all the spotlight on you and the fingers pointing at you. So, but maybe sometime in the future when he's ready, it's an open invitation, and I will email him again.
That's true what you just said, Patricia, because since Globebusters featured my fly video on their 24-hour feed, I have now had my first video made about me on the tubes. So, yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. No,
First
it wasn't good.
piece.
That means you're someone now, Bling Bling.
Congratulations.
You're someone.
I'm somebody now.
You're somebody.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah, I'd rather not be. But, of course, I defended myself. And I think they finally shut up because it proved that it was a frickin' fly, but they're in such deep denial. They will continue to say it's a speck on the glass, but we know it's a fly because
we love you.
We love you. I love you.
You know the old song by Dean Martin, I think, "You ain't nobody till somebody loves you." We need to do a new one. You ain't nobody till somebody hates you.
That's good. I love it.
You ain't somebody till nobody hates you. I don't know.
No, the first one. Perfect. Right. Perfect.
You ain't nobody until you're called a shill or an agent or a CIA or something like that.
Or a man. Let's not.
Man.
Oh, or a man.
Or a man. Yeah. Or a transgender
I personally knew. I was in the day I woke up and got sent a link for a content maker saying that I was actually called Coxan. Okay, I'm actually a dude. Believe it or not.
You too.
That was the day.
Yeah, you look like a dude.
I've met Roxanne, and she's definitely a woman.
The biggest flat Earth community are all transgenders.
Isn't that coinky dinky?
What about being too sweet? What about being too nice? Like seriously, they've used me as an example. Like, not they weren't being mean, but like someone said, that the agent or the shield or the whatever, they're going to come in more like Lisa, like, hey, everybody, love y'all, how's it going? And I'm like, no, not, that doesn't mean that. I'm just,
So
Nice.
they say if you're nice, oh, you must be an agent coming to infiltrate. And
Yes.
they say if you're just whatever, like let's say Roxanne or me, they label you a man. So they say that the CIA or FBI or I don't know what, MI6 is putting in transgenders, men who've cut off their genitalia into flat Earth. Now, let's go over how ridiculous that actually sounds. Like what a reach that would be. If they're trying to keep people on the down low undercover, wouldn't they put somebody that accusation would never go to?
Yeah.
The reality is that's the new it's the new hotness of 2017 into 2018. It's the new thing that you can label somebody with, that there's almost no way they can prove otherwise. You can say, well, I've met you, and they'll be like, well, lots of transgenders on the surface, they can be on music or in movies, and you'd never know, you could be standing right next to them. There's no way to prove it except with a gynecological exam. Well, not gynecological, with the kind of exam where when a woman's pregnant and she goes in and has the I don't know, over her pregnant stomach.
The ultrasound.
I always forget the name of it.
Yes.
An ultrasound, which would show a womb and would show ovaries, and unless you had those things removed.
Fallopian tubes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if somebody would like to pay for me to do that, I would definitely do it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What about this though? What if they are?
True.
Are we not all here for the same reason, or what?
Exactly.
That's my thing.
If you were, Patricia, transgender, the transgender community would be so disappointed in you for not just being truthful.
Right.
You're not the kind of person, like, let's just pretend you are. I know you're not. Everyone knows you're not. But let's say if you were, you would be the kind of person that would say, yes, I am a transgender flat earther.
Right.
Because you're an honest person. It's stupid for them to think that you are, but you're lying about it.
Yeah, there are 2 trans ball earthers. They're one is named, I might be wrong about transgender, but he has breasts and a beard, but speaks in a woman's voice, but goes by a male name. I'll just say the first name, Sean. And there's another one who I believe is fully transgendered with surgery, who goes by the name of Brenda. Those in the know will know who I'm talking about. They're globe earth believers who go into the debates with flat earthers, and they're treated perfectly respectfully by the flat earthers. They're not name called you tranny and all of that. And they're actually people who identify as such. But those of us who in real life identify as a female, because we've got the female genitalia and the female ovaries and fallopian tubes, and some of us have had children, but we're called that. We're the ones with the fingers being pointed at us. Well, meanwhile, real ones are within the flat earth campfire, even if they're on the globe side, and they're treated respectfully. How weird is life?
You just made such a great point there, Patricia, because in real life, people would never do that. It's not 1980. We don't gay bash anymore. Right. If the person is saying, I'm a transgender flat earther, everyone's going to be so respectful to them, because that's what society expects. But because everyone knows that you are a woman and they're just trying to hurt you by saying that, they will bash you because they know it's not true.
I remember when I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm a woman. I know it's not that easy, but I'm like, what about me says man at all? But then, you see these transvestigations, they transvestigate.
It's stupid, Patricia, because you're one of the sort of very feminine ladies anyway, so it's stupid.
Well, you know what, any of us here, and some of us have been, in fact, I think 3 out of 5 or 6 have been called trans here on this panel. I think maybe Karen, you might have been. Definitely Roxanne has. The 3 here have.
I haven't said that about me. I might have been called other things, but not that.
Yeah, well, they'll get to you. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm obviously not in the gang then, because I'm obviously not being. Oh no, never mind. Anyway, that's not really a very good.
It's the hot new thing for people to do because there's no way to prove it, and it besmirches your reputation. But the reality is, it's more like, welcome to the club. You're just another person that's been caught in the cognitive dissonance / hatefulness of people who are living in their own personal miseries and need to take that out on other people who are happy and trying to do good.
Exactly.
Yep.
If,
I
if people
agree.
called me that transgender, they know that it wouldn't bother me. I don't care about that. That's not
Well,
that's
I
not what
know I
would
gave
upset me.
4 children, okay? I know I did.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. Speaking of
Well,
which, my daughter's baby is coming any day now. Any day now.
Aw.
will it
Yeah.
be your first trip as a grandparent or?
No, it'll be my second.
Oh.
But my daughter has I have a 3-year-old grandbaby girl,
Mm.
and so and now she's having a boy.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so yeah, we're excited. We're ready. It'll be the first.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It'll be the first boy since my son was born 25 years ago. Yeah, I'm old, whatever. But yeah, we're excited. Matter of fact, I could actually get a call. I tell everybody, look, if I split and y'all don't hear back from me, I'm at the hospital. So
Boy, it's literally any second now then.
yes, yep,
Wow, that's so
yeah. We're
cool.
on
Exciting.
speed dial. Yes, we're on speed dial. I know. Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you
Well, yeah,
very
Pre-baby.
much.
that's another reason for Patricia because she chose not to have kids.
No, it's not a
So,
choice, although it kind of was a choice. My mom, when she was pregnant with me in the 60s, I was born in 63, and then I was the firstborn. And then with my sister who followed in 65 and my brother in 67, was prescribed this drug to lessen morning sickness. Now it's off the market now, and there's been tons of
oh, I know what drug that
involving.
is. That
It's,
Flamidamile, right?
yeah, it's DES, diethyl stilbestrol. Anyway, DES. It's a synthetic form of a hormone estrogen, and it was prescribed to pregnant women back during that time frame so that they wouldn't be vomiting and sick between 1940 and 1971. It prevented miscarriages and premature labor. But what happened is a lot of women that took it, nothing happened to them, the moms, but their babies, both boys and girls, had a couple things happen. Deformed genitalia, and that didn't happen to myself or my sister or my brother. Malfunctioning genitalia didn't happen to myself, my sister, or my brother. Or when you do a gynecological examination on my first one, the doctor who was looking, and I was really young, when your mom takes you, anyway, in America, your mom takes you and you have your first pelvic exam and you're like petrified and freaked out. Anyway, the doctor said, you have a differently shaped uterus. And I'm like, of course, I would never know that because you can't see your uterus from looking down. It has a cuff on it. If you picture a jumper in the UK or a sweater, how it's got like a cuff on the sleeve. Well, it just had a little bit of extra skin, but that was quite tight. And the doctor said, you may not be able to conceive because
I
you
never
might
knew
not be able
this.
to
This is
have
new.
the sperm go and meet the egg and all this other stuff. Or to let the baby, they didn't, I don't remember if they told me exactly why, but they said it was just too small, that you probably could never use an IUD, intrauterine device, to prevent pregnancy, and that you just might not be able to have children. And so at that time, I don't know how old I was. I just started my period. I'm going to say 13, whatever. I can't remember. I thought nothing of it because I thought, like, it doesn't seem like it, to me, that seemed like eons away where I would be of the age to have children. I wasn't fantasizing about having children, although I played with baby dolls and stuff like every other little girl generally does. But as time went by, I never had any accidental pregnancies through varying boyfriends. But a lot of women get through, that time frame of like their 20s and 30s with no oopsies and having a child out of wedlock, or some people opt for abortions. None of that ever happened to me. And in the meantime, my sister got married in the 80s and she started wanting to have a family, and she went and had an examination and they told her same thing, something's weird here, we might be able to do what's it called, artificial insemination, or no, that's not what it whatever they do with women. And they tried doing that, implanting it in her a couple times. That's it. In vitro. Gosh, I can't remember all these terms. Anyway, in vitro failed. Lots of money too to do that. So she and her husband basically gave up, but they still were having sex. They're a loving couple. And she ended up getting pregnant and being able to give birth to one child. And it was a horrendous pregnancy with bed rest and everything. One child. I have a niece. That's it. And after that, she had to have everything removed, her uterus, everything all taken out. And my brother, meanwhile, been single forever. He was married for a while, and then now he's back to single with a girlfriend. He's never accidentally got a girl pregnant, and he believes, as he says, he's firing blanks. So this DES drug affected my sister and brother and I all in different ways, and there were many lawsuits about it. I never jumped in on the lawsuit bandwagon. I don't. It's just something that I wouldn't do. I guess I'm just not.
Part of the program, wasn't it? Like, today you're going to get injected and they could be autistic at the end of it.
Right. And I get it's another one of those things. Doctors, what happened was a pharmaceutical drug was created for some reason, and then it was sold to doctors by the pharmaceutical reps who come in, basically salespeople, almost used car salespeople in some cases. And then doctors prescribed it, and women took it, thinking that that was going to be the salvation, their hope, because maybe they had a miscarriage before the current pregnancy, and who wants a miscarriage? So they took this drug with hope in their heart and faith in their doctors and faith in the medical community, and look what happened. Their children might be sterile, and some of the children, luckily not my sister and brother or myself, developed cancer. Some got cancer. We in our family never did. It would be cancer of the cervix is the one that supposedly is associated with this drug, I think. But luckily, none of that ever happened. Anyway, so, well, this is a long way to say that it wasn't really my choice not to have children, but because I knew that at an early age, I always thought in my head, I'm not having children. So I guess, in a way, it became my reality. But it's fine. I have cats, and, you make your life.
You saved yourself a cajillion dollars, so
that's probably true. Yeah, but there's so much beauty and so many blessings involved if you would have children, and I missed out on that. And I've heard people say things like, "Oh, you're going to die alone." My answer to that is, we all die alone, regardless of how many family members are around us.
Good answer.
When we go, it's just us, lying in that bed or wherever it happens. And it's a personal journey from birth to death that you happen to share with other people. But when you die, no one else dies with you unless, something really horrendous.
Born alone and you die alone.
That's it. I came into this world alone, and that's how I'm going out.
My mom was
it's not like you can't get someone, a friend to, if you were to get sick, I'm sure you would have someone close that you could, help advocate for you, if you need it for healthcare.
Right. I mean, you end up, having a living will, and you end up, making sure all that stuff happens. I mean, who's to say that even if you had like 5 children and a husband, that your life's going to work out awesome, where your children are with you when you die, or your husband's with you when you die? Your children could hate your guts. Your husband could have cheated on you, or you could have cheated on him. You don't know. Really. So just the act of having children doesn't guarantee you having a fabulous exit from this earthly plane.
Or your kids could die before you. I have a friend that lost both her sons a year apart from each other.
That is just the worst.
Both in car accidents. Horrible. And she's never gotten over it, of course, and it's a long time ago, but yeah, that you never recover from that kind of loss.
You're not supposed to have your children die before you.
So she doesn't have kids now because they're gone. So yeah, you never know. You can't predict anything. You think it's going to work out a certain way, but yeah, there's no silver bullet here. You could have all the kids in the world, and like you said, you could end up having a broken relationship, dysfunctional life with them, and then they just blow you off and you never talk to them again.
Well, not only that, there's a lot of things that, yes, if you have children, it affords you a different type of lifestyle for a certain amount of time. However, if you don't have children, that too also affords you a different type of lifestyle.
Right.
Poor one.
So, yeah. No,
I'm kidding. I know what I've paid for Andrew for all of his endeavors and his modeling career, and what I've paid for that.
It's true, but if you don't have children, then you use that money on either charities of your choice or to your family members or yourself. For me, I did lots of traveling and still do. So the amount of money at the end of the month with or without children is still like all of us, like, all right, got $10. How am I going to make this work?
Yes, rich. Eat pasta.
Beans and rice.
You were talking about that medication, and in Canada it was called Flumidomide.
Oh, I
And
heard of that.
my mom was offered it. In fact, she had a prescription in her purse when she was pregnant with me because she was really nauseated. And something in her heart said not to fill it. Or you
Oh
know
my
what? I
gosh.
might have been born with the deformed arms. I have a friend as
Oh,
well.
that's a different one.
I worked with
Thalidomide is the one that gives you deformed
little limbs,
arms,
tiny little
limbs.
limbs with a little
But
finger on the end. I had a friend where I
yeah,
used to work at Eaton's, a big department store in Winnipeg, and he worked clean, like doing the garbage, and I was a cashier, so I made friends with him. And yeah, he had two little stubby arms with little nubby fingers on the end from that drug. He was identical age as me, so yeah, that could have been
yeah.
me.
And DES is the one that was, I think the Upjohn Pharmaceutical Company is the one that put it out, and they've now been sold to some other French company. And maybe I'm wrong about the company, but yeah, that's not thalidomide. That only created gynecological or what do they call it for men? Penile? I don't know. Reproductive healthcare issues.
Okay,
And
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah,
So
it's a
you
different
taught me
one.
something.
Yeah.
Ah.
But it's only through that time frame. So they call them DES daughters. I guess that's what I am. And then there's sons too, because my brother probably is sterile because of it. It could be there's a range of problems that could occur. And I'm on the lower end of the spectrum. There's other people who've developed cancers and died because of the exposure. So I guess I
Wow.
got lucky, and life works out the way it works out.
That's why we've always been the guinea pigs and just didn't realise it.
Yes. And now we are too. We're now with GMO foods, because even if you say, oh, I don't buy GMO, or I live in a country where there's no GMO, if you travel, you go to a restaurant, boom, there you go. There it is, Or if you live in a country like here in the United States, I don't buy GMO, but when I go eat at a restaurant, 99% of the restaurants, unless there's some kind of organic, vegan, natural, whatever place, which they're very few and far between, they're going to have GMO produce right there. So what's in that stuff? Is it healthful and fine? Or does it have something in it that in like 20 years, we're going to start to see the effects on humans? What's it going to be? Little arms or reproductive issues? We're the guinea pigs.
Sterilization, complete sterilization.
Well, most likely that sounds like what the plan is.
Well, that's what they say with the GMO corn, that in fourth generation lab rats, they were completely sterile.
And we're
So
just,
there you go.
I
They're
go out
never
to
going to tell us the truth, are they, about what's going on with figures, are they?
There's your world depopulation working out the way they want it. So
many different ways to do it. If chemtrails are real, as what they say, that they're spraying poisons, that's potentially a way. And the frequencies that are coming from things.
I've got a good
There we go. Geoengineering. Yep. Not contrails, 100% sure. I'm 100% down with that. I don't know what's in there, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't know exactly what it is, how it affects us. Is it a nerve toxin? Does it cause mutations? Does it cause coughs, colds, cancer? I mean, people have theories. We don't know exactly.
Did you say contrails?
There's a
difference.
Websites though. There's a good few websites where independent people are putting the facts and figures on websites. www.geoengineeringwatch.org, www.naturalskies.org, www.cpuk.org, and ukskywatch.co.uk. That's just some of the UK ones. I'm sure there's ones in the USA, but I got this from an activist, a geoengineering activist. And I met some up in Speaker's Corner as well when I was doing some activism. They were really cool people. They were really nice. They go there regularly. In fact, a lady was there just with two other guys on her own with a backpack with some banners in the back. But she had some proper facts and figures. And she's associated with this one here, which is at the bottom of the leaflet. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. That's www.skywatch.co.uk. UK Skywatch, Sorry to just chime in with that one there.
No, definitely.
What's the difference between a chemtrail and a you said comtrail?
CON. Contrail.
Comtrail? What's the
Contrail
difference?
is the water vapor that comes out in the back of jets, the kind of thing you'd seen since, the first time you looked at the sky, the white water vapor that comes out of the back of a plane and then disappears. But the chemtrails whatever the chem makeup is, I'm not quite sure, but the chemtrail itself is things that aren't really supposed to be coming out of the back of planes that are put there on purpose that don't dissipate. And that's when you see the cross-hatching patterns across the sky that look totally insane, that stay there and continue to puff out and expand and then whiten out the whole sky on a beautiful blue sunny sky day.
Exactly.
So contrails are normal.
Yeah, contrails are just a condensation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I thought for some reason, I was thinking, oh my gosh, there's something else, you know.
Well, there's always something else.
Yes.
We don't know
and then.
Oh, it is like that. There's things right now that we don't know yet that next month we'll hear about. You know how it is.
There's like over 500 patents that have been filed in regulation to weather modification. Over 500 patents.
Wow.
The information's there. And I suppose, you know, in relation to flat Earth, I suppose I'm so absorbed in flat Earth, so I don't really look into it too much. But I'm sure there's just as much of an online community and independent people that are putting the information out there about it. But it seems that they're very much into the facts and figures. Like they come with dates and actual real, you know, observable proof that it's going on. It's a lot. 500 patents. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Right. So if you just say, oh, well, it's just contrails, the condensation trail, you would be wrong because it looks different than that. You can see them in the sky. One fades, one expands and stays. But then what is it? Is it weather modification? I think indeed so. I mean, look at some areas where some areas are getting drenching rains and some areas are in droughts, and then it can switch around at a moment's notice. It's very unnatural the way that happens. Weather modification, it's like weather war. Weather's being used to war on different countries and different areas and make for droughts, make for crops not being able to be grown, changing economies, changing people's lives, causing people to move to different areas. It's all unnatural modification of humanity. And they have the power to do this. And maybe also the poison aspect of whatever they're spraying.
Well, apparently they're spraying things like barium and aluminium, and they're not just water vapor. They're associated illnesses, which include respiratory illnesses, neurological illnesses, autoimmune, heart, lung problems, fatigue, lethargy, headaches, eye irritation, you name it.
Yeah, exactly. If it's being used for weather modification for our own good, it's also making us sick, right? So I'd rather for our own good than not do it anymore. I used to think when I first got into flat Earth that they were going to do the fake alien invasion. We've all heard about the possibility of that. And that if so, Bling Bling, there's like a bunch of noise coming from your mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to multitask as usual.
Wait till you finish talking, Patricia, to say,
I'm sorry, I was trying to be so quiet. Just cutting out a picture so I can put it in a picture frame. I'm sorry.
Oh, cool. No, just put your mic on mute. It's cool.
I know.
You can multitask. We're ladies. We're good at multitasking. Although Astral Thief joined us, we're not all ladies anymore.
Yeah.
He's part of Sun and Moon, but the only man on this hangout tonight.
Hello, Astral.
Hi, Astral.
Good
Hello.
evening, ladies. I'm sorry. I am so sorry that I'm late. But it's nice to see such a friendly face of a bunch of flat earthers. Should we say it like that?
Yay! Flat Earth ladies, Astral. Flat Earth ladies.
Are you wearing your dress?
Flat earth ladies, of course, yeah.
Of course. It's a must.
Astral, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Someone said, "Are you wearing your dress?"
That's good. But
No, I'm not wearing a dress. That was a private joke that I said to Karen that if I come on, do I need to put a dress on and some high heels?
Oh, I didn't know that was
No.
a private joke. I said that to you.
That's funny.
To be honest with you, right, quite a few years ago, I did for one of my ex-girlfriends. She was part of like a sort of a drama group, and they had like auditions for a kind of a, let's say a drag show, right? And even though I didn't audition for it, I wasn't going for the part. The guy said to me, "Hey man, can you mime?" And I said, "Well, I guess so, yeah, why?" He said, man, you've got great legs. It was summertime, obviously. He said, man, you've got great legs. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I took part in this drag show, and I've been filmed doing a drag show, and I looked quite good as a woman, and I was good at miming as well.
I like the freedom that you said that with, because now with all of this, what we were talking about before you arrived, with people being called transgender right and left within the flat earth community and probably other communities, it takes a lot for somebody to come out that's a guy and say, yeah, I dressed up in drag one time for a show, openly admitting it. No big deal. No shame. I did it. It's cool.
Right.
You know, actually, Patricia, I was kind of proud of it because, and not just from my own point of view, but my friends, like workmen, were saying to me, oh my God, you were fucking awesome, man. You know, I mean, when people say that to you, it's like, I've never seen the video yet, but I know there is a video somewhere about, yeah. And
I was just wondering, where is it? I want to see it.
yeah,
Well,
it's somewhere in Denmark, and this drag show took place in a town called Vejle. You know, Vejle. So if anyone can find it, that would be fucking awesome, I tell you. Oh, I dread the day, but I mean, yeah, it could be fun.
It depends. Hopefully it won't fall into the wrong hands of one of those known flat earth hit piece makers, and there'll be a hit piece on you.
Patricia, regardless, whatever happens, I am the same person. If I put glasses on, a dress on, or whatever, I'm still the same person. You understand?
Exactly.
Now, that what I'm saying there, I don't wear dresses. Of course, I'm a guy. I wear pants. Yeah. Anyway.
But if you wanted to, you could, you know.
Well, yeah. I could, and I have done, and I did it with style, actually. So.
I like the pride.
You go, girl. You go, girl. Just joking, you know.
Well, one thing I was saying, and I want to just go back to it before I forget, and it wasn't that important, but I hate when I say something and then I lose track of what I was saying. It was about, oh my gosh, I just lost it. I can't believe it. Skip me. I'll think about it.
Chemtrails.
It was about that. Oh, it was when I first got into flat earth, and I first they were talking about the alien invasion that could potentially happen. This was back in 2015, and that's what this is all gearing up for. I thought, wait a minute. What if chemtrails are, yes, weather modification, yes, probably making people ill, but also a third thing, because whenever the powers that should not be, do something, they make it multifaceted, multi-pronged. So it's doing many different things. They're bidding in many different ways. What if it was to make the skies receptive to some sort of Project Bluebeam thing that they could do, where they could project onto the skies something to help the alien invasion along? So maybe there's that. You thought that too?
Yeah, definitely. As soon as you said Bluebeam, I thought, right, if Patricia doesn't say Bluebeam, the only way that's going to resonate with me is Bluebeam. Yeah. Every time I hear someone talking about invasion, this, that, or the other, I think, yeah, all right, that's how they'll do it. At Christmas, I went to Kew Gardens and I watched a holographic show that was projected across the lake. And I'm trying to find the words to convey it, right?
But it looked real. Did it look real?
It brought me to tears. It actually brought tears at me. The music and everything, it was like being hypnotized. But I knew what I was looking at wasn't real, right? So I knew in my mind what I was looking at wasn't real. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. I knew it wasn't real.
Okay, but Roxanne, if you
know it wasn't real, you would have thought it was real. You would have thought it was real.
I was about to say, if you detract from the fact that you knew it was real,
100%.
Like, looking, would you believe it was real?
You would have bought it. And what would have fucked your head up was you would have gone, but they're on water. So there's no way they could, but they look real. Well, it was only because I predisposed, knew it wasn't real, that it was going to be a holographic. We were fully told at the end of this walk around Kew Gardens, we were going to see this awesome, awe-inspiring projection on the lake. But they set up this family, and it was like in a house and everything. It was real. It was like Star Trek holodeck, real. It was, for all intensive purposes, real. And it evoked so much emotion that everyone, it was the most nauseating vibe to be around. There was so much emotion. The dynamic of the place that I was in, it completely changed after we watched it. And
Can I ask you, were they playing music at the time when you felt
Exactly,
that?
yeah. Oh, yeah, they were playing
That's
that kind of
right.
different type of emotion evoking music with the strings and the whole vibe that goes with it, that Fantasia type of music, yeah, where there's no words and all the words are done by music. And we all know that those are used predisposed to evoke emotion and to put you predisposed into either hate, love, adoration, empathy, all of that. So I was very awake to it. So was Jess, but we were still emotional. It still worked, even though you were standing there going, "It's not working." It is. It's making me cry. Oh my god!
Right. Like those greeting card commercials that come, I don't really watch TV, but those greeting card commercials around the holidays, or even those horrible diamond ring wedding engagement advertisements that come around. I'm not even a believer that women should be given diamond rings. I mean, if you want, cool. But I mean, I'm not one of those women, you must save up 6 months of your salary and get on your knee and give me a diamond. Ridiculous.
I
But
think
they make me cry. All that stuff, it's the emotion, it's the music, it taps into something, and they know it does, which is why they use that.
The Hallmark Channel is the worst. The Hallmark, the worst.
I think knowing that even though we're awake to it, and we know even though we're awake to it, it can still resonate. I think I know beyond reasonable doubt that if that was to go out to the masses and they were to try and weaponize that, which what haven't they weaponized? Let's be honest. What haven't they weaponized?
Right.
They've weaponized everything. More or less everything that's brought into our reality gets weaponized in some form or manner.
And
So
they
I
could
think
use words attuned to each individual area's religious belief, so that you would feel that it was Jesus Christ talking to you if you lived in a certain area of the world, or you might feel whomever you worship would be speaking to you and in your native tongue.
So right now, all the examples we can see of Bluebeam are projected images which we know aren't what is supposed to be there. But as soon as they project an image that they predisposed, desensitized you through movies and the rest of it, Independence Day, the whole 9 yards, Alien, this, that, and the other, Stanley Kubrick. I think that's when we got a problem with the masses. The asleep masses will drink that up.
Well,
and buy into
can I just
believe you're on a ball, They think that an alien invasion is legit because they're on a ball.
Right, exactly. And it would prove the ball.
That's what it would do. More than a Tesla did anyway. More than a freaking Tesla did.
Yep.
Yeah? I think that the test, see if we were that stupid or not. Sorry, go on. Sorry, Astral.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this Bluebeam, it's not new. This is it's been going on for many years now, So I imagine that the amount of people that know about it, it's not like a few. It's quite sufficient an amount of people that know about it. And obviously, if anything would happen or should happen, and we, that are aware to this Bluebeam, we pay attention and say, that's Bluebeam, that, don't pay any attention to it, kind of thing. There again, some people will still believe that whatever it is they're seeing, they are really seeing, whereas you might get two-thirds saying, okay, yeah, true. Yeah, I've heard about these holograms. It's all fake, whatever, So, I mean, people are aware of it, but yeah, for sure, more people need to be more aware, because if they are going to pull something, and like you said, Patricia, all this stuff they're spraying in the atmosphere, well, certainly it's for a reason, not only to poison us, but I also to think, to illuminate whatever it is they're planning on illuminating, and with like barium and strontium and aluminium and God knows whatever else they're throwing up there, I mean, we know of 3 things at least. There's probably 3,000 things that they're spraying up there, that we're not aware of. And yeah, all for this big light show that we're about to soon see. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it soon as well. Yeah.
Do you think it started out that way as like, I'm always the optimist, and I always want to try to see the good, and I'm always wondering, like, if it started off to where, well, we just need to get rid of this stuff, we don't know what to do with it, and then maybe they didn't think that there would be any repercussions, and then maybe, oh, well, wait a minute, now we could use this to our good now, You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What I'm
Lesia,
asking?
sorry, Lesia, are you talking about the things that they're spraying in the atmosphere? Like this
Yes.
is waste. Yeah, the aluminium is waste, and you know, yeah, or some of it anyway. Yeah,
Right.
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I think too. Yeah, they wanted to get
Like,
rid of it. They're getting rid of it, and then hey, now it's got another use. You know.
yeah, like, oh, look what this does. You know, oh,
Exactly.
well,
But
yeah. It's
I
kind of
think
like,
that is, I think that is the case with many things. You know, with practically with everything. If you get a use for it, someone will try and figure out some other use for it. You know, and that's why we
exactly.
progress and development and yeah.
Right. The wrong people get their hands on the wrong thing. And yeah, okay. That's exactly what I was wondering. So, oh, look, I like your picture with your big hat on.
Oh, thanks.
It's
I had to
pretty.
go get some water and a glass, so I wanted to turn my camera off. I don't know why.
Anyway,
But I was listening.
Is our Patricia there? Patricia, our Patricia,
I
are
see
you
her.
still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, did you want to ask Patricia Steere a few questions?
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you are. Are you holding on to the table?
I'll hold my microphone.
No, but I was just Karen mentioned about veganism, and
Yes,
I was just there was just a couple. I know people don't like talking about it, but tough. Yeah.
We'll make it brief.
What when you how did you first decide? Other than were you a vegetarian first?
I was a vegetarian first in high school, based on the band that these frames, pictures behind me, the Smiths. They have an album called Meat is Murder, which I'm looking here and I can't find it. Anyway, they have a song called Meat is Murder, and the song is about animals in the slaughterhouse. And I heard that, and it had actual slaughterhouse sound effects. And at a young, impressionable age, I heard it and changed to be vegetarian. But at that time, I thought vegetarian was everything. I didn't think animals were hurt for dairy or for milk. And I thought that was doing great for animals. And so I became vegetarian. Then life went on, and then I ate meat again because I just did. That's just what happened in my life. And then I went back to vegetarian again, off and on, until one day I saw, that was when YouTube came around, and somebody posted within a comment thread on Facebook something along the lines about baby chicks being ground up alive after they are hatched in factory farms. The boys get plucked off a conveyor belt and thrown into a meat grinder alive, and or thrown into plastic bags to suffocate on top of each other, broken limbs, little cute chicks, the little gold cheep chicks. And I just thought, that's a fake video. That can't be real. That's not what happens. I went into cognitive dissonance, just like with Flat Earth, the globe people. And I went on a overnight, deep dive into the internet and verified all the things I saw and a whole lot more about cows and about everything about factory farming. And I changed my life overnight because of that, and have not looked back since. So veganism was something that I stayed with for the animals. I was vegetarian for the animals, but I only later realized I hadn't been doing enough. Now, I'm not in any way putting anybody down who's vegetarian or who eats meat, because I've been at all those stages, and some people like the stage they're at, and that is totally up to you. But there is more information that's available online should you choose to go down that path. There's videos that I suggest by a guy named Gary Yourofsky. It's a complicated last name, but if you break it into Your of Sky, Gary Your of Sky, Gary Yourofsky. He's got this video called something like The Greatest Speech Ever Given. You'll know it when you see it. It's a pretty long video where he's giving a talk to college students, and he's just this regular guy. He's not somebody in a suit and a tie, and he's not a scientist. He's this regular guy talking about animals and talking about your health and talking about the environment and putting it all together in a way that you can understand and make sense. But there's many other people who have many other fantastic videos. I subscribe to a lot of vegan channels on YouTube, but I'm definitely not an angry, bitter, or nasty vegan who would belittle anybody. The same way I'm not an angry, bitter, and nasty flat earther that would belittle a globe believer, because we all go through periods of time in our life when we're at a place and then we learn more and then we change. So, yeah.
So you said you changed overnight. Did you put anything in place, sort of going, or did you just say, right, I'm not eating eggs, I'm not eating anything that's made from animals? What did you actually do? Because I'm wanting to become vegan because I'm a vegetarian at the minute, and occasionally I eat meat when I fancy it, which isn't really the nice thing to say, but
Yeah, that's where I was. When you're vegetarian, it's easy to go back into eating meat because it's not as much of a, oh my God, I can't unsee what I saw kind of thing. Just like when you're a globe believer, you can toy with the flat earth a little bit and maybe even think you're a flat earther because you like the community aspect. But when you see scientific experiments that flat earthers do, you can't unsee the things that we have seen. And that's why street activism works. You get the people to see the stuff and to learn the facts. So that's what I did with veganism. But what I did overnight was get rid of everything in my house, literally throwing stuff into garbage bags, including leather jackets, leather boots, handbags. I had quite the designer collection, I'm ashamed to admit. All gone, all given away, all the cheese, I just couldn't, all of it, down pillows. I just got rid of it all. And then, through time got other things to replace it. But for a while, I only had a pair of Converse tennis shoes, literally, and a gym bag as my handbag. And as a person who's into style and fashion, that wasn't so good going out to a black tie event. But, I worked my way through that. And it wasn't about my style. It was about the animals. Even if those animals were already dead that I had in my closet in the form of pants or skirts or boots or shoes, yeah, they're already dead. But I myself chose not to wear them anymore because I felt if I'm going to do this vegan thing, and I am for the rest of my life, I want to be a walking example that you can get by without the use of animals. But I do have to say that there's no such thing as a perfect vegan. There are things that have animal products in them that you almost can't escape, like the foundation of my house supposedly has got animal product, bone or something in it, or highways have bone in them. Some tires of taxis and buses that have animal products in car tires. So I'm not saying that no animal ever dies. I walk outside and can step on an ant. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about on purpose. I choose to not pay somebody to hurt animals for my lifestyle. But I did it overnight, and I didn't replace the animal products with other things. I didn't worry about protein because I read enough about it to find that I could get all the protein I need just from regular vegetables and fruit. So I just didn't eat those things. And I tried some of those fake meat items at first, like the fake burgers and the fake hot dogs and the fake sausages and fake fish even. Some of them are good. Some of them are gross. I'm not that into that stuff. I consider it to be like vegan junk food. We all know that like having a burger, even if we eat meat, isn't like your best thing to eat for health and nutrition, but it's fun to have. I still have the vegan junk food.
I never understood that. If you go to like a deli where they've got vegetarian stuff and then you're buying, okay, it's vegetarian, but it's in the shape of bacon and sausages.
Yeah. Well, some people need that. I consider those things as vegan transition foods because when you first become vegan, you miss that. Even when you have a dinner plate, there's like a hole missing. That's where the piece of meat would be, the chicken or whatever. But I went to the grocery store today and bought some fruit and vegetables, and right near the counter at checkout, they had these impulse buy items, and they had vegan jerky, and I bought like a small little one single serving package, and it was literally like chicken. It was beef jerky, or not beef jerky, vegetable jerky, but it literally tasted like barbecue chicken, and it was so delicious. So it was a little fun treat to eat when I was driving here to be on the show, driving back home. So it's fun to eat those things. But if you make your diet with processed vegan food, you can become overweight, you can get bad skin, because processed non-vegan food is the same thing. This is not good for you. Some of it's fun, but yeah, so I didn't replace any of the things. I found that I get everything that I need with just a good diet. I don't balance it or write it out or research it. I just eat the things that I like and don't eat the things I don't like. I don't really worry about it too much. And my health is awesome. I don't know if my health got better since I became vegan because I was already pretty healthy before. I didn't lose weight or I didn't notice like a change in my body or skin. But as I get older, I have to ask myself, maybe my getting older would have been less graceful had I continued with the meat and dairy, because I ate a lot of it at one point. I grew up in the Midwest of the United States, Michigan, where there's a big focus on, meat and potatoes and, that sort of food. But even if a person decides to have one vegan meal a day, that's cool. You're still saving animals that way, even if the next day you have a steak.
Can I just say something, Patricia? Right, I'm vegetarian. I'm not vegan. I mean, I would love to be, but I like a bit of cheese every now and again. Milk every now and again too. Even though
there's plant milks and there's plant cheeses, but I
do drink plant milk too all the time, more or less. But every now and again, I like a little bit of real milk.
Mm-hmm.
But something I never actually thought about when you mentioned pillows, with feathers in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't like pillows with feathers in anyway.
I don't either.
Anyway, they're horrible.
Poke you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Itchy and noisy.
Yes.
Same with the dune, the quilt.
Oh, you call them dunas, I think, in some parts
dune.
of.
Yeah, we call it dune here in Scandinavia, but I think
duvets
or comforters, they might call them in the US, but yeah.
Yeah. But eider down, the one with the eider.
Right. Well, they pluck those out of the geese while the geese are alive.
Oh,
imagine the horror of that.
Imagine the sounds.
Oh, and the pain.
Exactly, yeah, and the blood.
Just sad. It's all sad. To me, the reason that I became vegan was because the things I saw were shocking and depressing. And I didn't want to have that on my conscience. But I know that I've caused a lot of animals to suffer and die. I know that. And I nothing I can do about that. You can only do what you think is right as you discover what it is. Just like I've talked about the globe. There's quotes on my Facebook from back in, well, just like Roxanne was telling me when we did a show the other day, she was talking about Nibiru. She's got that on her Facebook. I've got something about the planet or the globe in some kind of a quote I put up there. I'm not deleting that stuff.
Once upon a time, we were
all of us. So,
hey, ladies, can I say something? Can I just say very quickly that Ditra and Globebusters want to join Ladies' Night?
Oh my God. Well, only if they wear dresses. Only if they wear dresses.
Ah, come on, I'm not in a dress.
Yes, you are. You've already outed yourself.
I'm actually naked.
Do you have you prove though? Do we have any measurable, observable proof that you're not wearing a dress? Like,
well, yeah, if you can find a video, yeah. I was on posters. I was a poster. I had this big pink boa in my hair. Like if you think about, imagine now, Rio de Janeiro Carnival, a big flowing pink dress with the big boas in your hair. That was me. And I was kind of tanned at the time. So, yeah, take your pick. Use your imagination. If it's fertile enough, there you go. Get Ditra on. I'm feeling lonely here.
It's Ladies' Night, Astral.
It's gate crashed again.
I have to drive, and I may drop off. And if I do, I'll just join back as soon as I get to my destination. Okay?
Oh,
okay,
please
Lisa.
say, Lesia, please, whenever you're driving, don't drop off. I did it once on the motorway. It's not recommended. Seriously. I fell asleep on the motorway. Don't.
Oh, God.
If you're tired, and anybody who's listening, anybody.
Doesn't mean that. She just means the signal might go.
I know that.
I know. I get it.
Astral, get that dress on.
Astral, you fell asleep on the motorway?
Yeah, I fell asleep on the motorway, yeah.
What happened? Tell us the story.
I was moving home from my ex-mother-in-law, even though I didn't want to. Dead tired. Driving home. I got like a little station car, one of those Mondeo station cars, and it's full, absolutely full. I mean, you couldn't drive it properly without full. Anyway, I fell asleep on the motorway, and I ended up driving into the middle barrier, the one on the left when you're in America and in Europe.
Oh my goodness.
I drove into it, and I scraped against that. I woke up to get it back on the road again, even though it was so heavy, honestly, and it was like grass there as well. But I got on the road again. I got over into the emergency lane, and I stopped, and I was cursing. I cursed for about 2 minutes, I think. And my son was sat next to me. He was 5 at the time.
Oh, my word.
In the front seat. like, oh yeah, 5 or 6, looking at me like, and I was yelling and yelling, and he understood everything I was saying, obviously, and I was like, he knew it was bad that I'd fallen asleep driving. Anyway,
Oh.
I managed to get myself together again, composed, and I got home, like, but it's not recommended. Anybody, if you're tired and you've got to drive somewhere, don't do it. Just sleep,
Driving
Sleep.
makes you a bit sleepy sometimes as
Yes,
well.
yes.
Driving. Is that because I'm getting older? I feel quite tired when I'm driving.
Sometimes to me too. Maybe maybe that's the problem.
I fell asleep too once. It was early in the morning, and everyone mostly knows I'm a night owl. So this is when I was working, and so I had to drive across the city, and it's weird because I didn't even like.
Uh-oh. Astral's back.
Astral's
Sorry.
back.
It was
Yeah,
wrong.
rang me, Astral. He always rings the wrong hangout. Sorry, carry on. Who's talking then? Bling Bling.
Yes. Bling Bling's
Sorry.
mic's muted.
Bling Bling, you're muted now. Oh.
Well, Roxanne, are you the youngest who's here? Yes, I think so. So
You two have already had a hangout this week, haven't you?
yes, but we were saying, is it because that you were older that we fall asleep sometimes when driving or in a car? So Roxanne, you're the one younger. So
Yeah, I've done some pretty long drives. I don't know. I've got stamina for that kind of stuff.
it's good.
I've done London to Barcelona. I do London to Glasgow. I only stop once at the services at Charnock Richard near Manchester, and I keep it moving. So I got the stamina for that. But I don't think that's anything age reflected. I'm nearly pushing 40, so I'm not a spring chicken.
I got booted off. Sorry about that. Someone tried to call me, and normally it doesn't kick me out. Then I couldn't unmute myself, so I came out and came back in. But yeah, I was in the morning, and all of a sudden I woke, and I had somehow managed to, in my sleeping cycle, driving my car, I managed to get into the left lane. I was like in a turning lane. Yet that's not where I belong, because I was still having to go like several miles straight up the road. So somehow I fell asleep, managed to get into the turning lane without hitting anyone in rush hour traffic. That's pretty crazy. But I have such paranoia about people falling asleep when they're driving, especially my husband, because we do a lot of road trips. And I'm always like, and he gets so mad at me. I'm always, you all right? You're awake? Are you sleepy? And because I can't really see that from his eyes, from my vantage point in the passenger seat, I always just want to make sure that he's like got his eyes open and he's actually not sleeping and driving.
Right.
Yeah, but Bling, I just would like to say you're the best doing something like that, because it's better to do that than not do it, because suddenly he's not awake, he's asleep, and then bang, you hit a tree.
Well, that's what I think, but he gets mad. And the thing is that he did fall asleep and crash years ago. So that's why, even though it wasn't even when I knew him, it was probably 30 years ago, it stuck with me, that story. So I keep thinking he could do it again. And he had his daughters in the car, and he rear-ended somebody. So that's why he shouldn't have told me the story, because now I'll never be the same. I'm damaged for life. Yeah, don't want it to happen. I had a bad car accident 2 years ago. Not falling asleep, just being distracted eating food. And I messed up for life. I broke my
I nearly
ankle
lost
so
my
bad.
son in a car accident.
Yeah,
He
it's
was 4.
awful.
He was 4 years old, and they just brought seat belts into the UK then. And what it was is he'd sort of put the seatbelt underneath his arm, and this person drove across the crossroads. The seatbelt whacked his insides and basically severed his duodenum right next to his pancreas, and he killed him. He went down looking like from Ethiopia, because they couldn't find out this hairline crack, but they knew his stomach had shut down. And basically, he hasn't got an appendix now. And then 8-9 months later, he got an internal hernia from this operation, so he had to have another one. And my son has this great big scar across his stomach.
Wow. Does he
And he gets
remind you
quite
of
a
it?
lot of stomach problems. He's had to go on medication because he's been quite ill as he's got older.
That's a crazy accident. Wow.
Yeah, he was in intensive care for about 5 weeks. It was horrible.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was almost like, I know he survived, and I'm so grateful that he did. But that whole experience was almost like losing someone. You know, we had no car. I was miles away from the home. I was breastfeeding a baby. It was just horrible. The whole thing was horrible. That was the end of my feeding my son. So, yeah. And then suddenly I couldn't stop itching my arm. Great big piece of glass in my arm.
Oh, wow. Wow.
To dig this piece of glass out. Mind
Wait a
you,
minute,
mine
you
was
were in the
minor
car?
compared
You
to
were
my
with
son.
him. You were with him
Yeah,
in the car.
the boy's dad at the time. No, it wasn't his fault. Someone just drove across the crossroads right in front of our car. Whack.
Oh, so you can be the best driver in the world and then still somebody else can do this.
That's very true.
Well, it's my fault that I did rear end the person and, you know, it was my fault. But yeah, all the innocent people. And I felt terrible. I apologized a million times over and I felt terrible. He sued me and that was a long drawn out process, but thankfully we settled in the end. But yeah, you know, it scares me a lot. I watch a lot of videos and I often see flat earthers, you know, videoing while they're driving. And I know that they've got some kind of phone holder in front of them, but still, I think you're distracted. I don't think you should do it. It's still distracted driving. And I know because I was a distracted driver and a lot of people eat and drive. You see it all the time. And the wrapper around the food caused me to lose kind of a little bit of my vision, I guess. I didn't really think about it. And before I knew it, I rear-ended someone going 43 miles an hour and just like that, boom. And I'm still recovering, still have very much pain in my ankle. It's stiff all the time. It hurts. It's terrible. So don't be distracted. Either drive or don't drive, but don't have your phone in your hand. My phone stays in my purse. I'm not ever going to take it out and, you know, when I get to drive again, because I can't afford car insurance at $8,000 for a 6-month policy. So I have a driver now, like I'm driving Miss Daisy, like that's me now.
Yeah, sorry that
Scary.
you could. Yeah,
Yes.
you
It's
had
so
to go through
scary
much.
that things could change in the blink of an eye like that your whole life, you know?
It did. I was perfectly capable of walking, no problem, and running. Now, no, I can't run anymore. I'm damaged for life. I broke my talus bone right in half. I had a compound fracture. It was poking out the inside of my ankle. I was lucky that the bone survived and I didn't have to have the bone fused. I was very lucky. It was a miracle,
It makes
really.
me not want to drive because it could be something that you do or another driver out there. You
Well,
know,
it's because I
I don't
hit
mean
the
to be horrible.
brakes.
Things are
I
really
hit
good
the
friends of
brakes
mine.
too hard.
Really
If I,
losing my son, that totally changed my life.
I bet, you know, it's just,
He's only
I should,
4.
I'm sorry.
it's
Like, that's
Oh, that's all
horrible.
right.
terrible.
It's what happens in
Gosh.
our lives, isn't it? You know,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Well,
I'm really sorry about that.
and how long
He's
ago
still
is,
here. He's 34 now.
but to have the scar on him for life, you know, that reminder, it's maybe a good thing in some ways to
Maybe.
remind you, you know,
Yeah.
to be really always be a defensive driver. And I'm not saying that wasn't happening, but extra defensive driver, you know, not be thinking, oh, it's okay, I'll just put my lipstick on real quick, or, you know, that's okay. Like, no, it's really not. It really does happen that quickly. I
Right.
was just taking a bite, like, well, trying to. I don't think I ever even did take the bite. Like, it just happened so fast. And if I hadn't have tried to brake, I wouldn't have hurt my ankle. You know, because it was too late to brake. You know, I wasn't able to stop my car. I was too close to the person and it just bang. If I had just kept my foot off the brake, I wouldn't have broken my ankle. I would have probably, you know, walked away with just the other injuries that I had, but not the broken ankle. So, plus a huge medical bill. Don't do it.
Gosh. I know this girl, and just today I saw her, and she has a dog, and she was kissing her dog goodnight. And her dog, for some strange reason, was half asleep and didn't recognize it was her and went at her and bit her. And on her face, underneath her eye, and right here are 2 giant scars that look
Oh,
now Frankenstein-y because they've been sewed up and it's all swollen as if she had some sort of jaw surgery, but she didn't. But the dog bit her face and she has darker skin. And so she told me she can develop keloid scars. So,
yeah.
and she's such a pretty woman, and not that if that matters, and she's always going to be a pretty woman, but the idea that now in a moment, she went from having flawless skin to having big scars on her face, probably for life, that will fade, of course.
Yeah.
But how things happen in our life, and it's happened with every single one of us, decisions we make.
Like me, Patricia. Last few weeks ago, I was really handsome. Then I fell over. I've got a big scar on my head. Now I look like Frankenstein.
No, you don't, Astral. I've seen you.
Astral went on holiday and
Oh,
something happened, and then he cut his head, and he's got above his eyebrow, and he's got a scar there.
Oh,
Jeez. For people that don't know what a keloid scar is, it's when you get an overproduction of cells
Right.
on a scar that's healing, and it just becomes a big lumpy mess. My son actually used to get keloid scarring when he was about 13.
wow.
And then, and he's Caucasian. But weird. Usually it is not usually black people
African American.
that get it. But you know what? He had it. So who knows? But it actually healed over time and flattened out. But you can still kind of see it, that it was kind of there. So, don't ever kiss your dog when they're half asleep or when they're eating out of their bowl. My son did that too. He dropped a pancake in Lenny's bowl and went to hug him and like, how's the pancake, boy? And Lenny, his food survival instinct kicked in, and it was so quick, and he bit Andrew in the face, but it wasn't that bad. It bled a little bit, but it's okay. But I was so shocked that, my sweet Lenny would do that. But he's a dog, he's an animal, and they do have a basic nature of their survival mode, and it was threatened, and that's what happens. But in a half asleep dog too, like startled it, and that's a natural reaction for a dog to defend itself. They don't flee, they defend, not like a horse, they're flight animals. They get scared and they run away, but a dog will fight. So you have to be super careful of these things.
The dog didn't have to be put down or anything crazy like that. I asked her about that. So
well, that's good.
She said that she had to report it to the authorities. She was told that she had to when she went to the emergency room. And they made her put the dog in. I said dog like a New Yorker. Dog.
Dog.
DITRH here in my ear.
Yeah, dog.
The dog in quarantine, but she was allowed to quarantine the dog in her own house for like maybe 5 days or something for no real reason.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Poor dog. It's not his fault. He probably loves his mommy so much.
I know.
Probably felt terrible. He made a mistake.
Things happen in our lives like that, and it takes something like that to make you say, okay, I made a huge mistake, or somebody did something, they made a mistake and it affected my life. Things can change. We really need to be so grateful for what we have. I mean, even if we have things that are wrong in our lives now, and every single one of us here listening and every single one of us watching, every single one of us on the panel have things wrong with our lives, of course, but we have so many great things. We just have to, embrace those and hope those bad things aren't going to happen, and take proactive measures, so that you are a more careful driver. I'm going to be a more careful driver now after these stories. Maybe we need to talk about something really awesomely happy right now.
Yeah. It's important though. I think it's important, and
there I was.
Talk about these things.
60 meters above.
I've got an idea.
60 meters above the water, and what was I supposed to do? I said, should I jump? He said, no, just fall off the edge. So I just fell off the edge.
What's the difference?
Well, you're not supposed to jump. I was in a bungee jump, but he said, just fall off the edge. That's what he told me.
Oh, just let yourself go and trust that the rope is not old.
I'd be too scared to bungee jump. What is
it? We are a panel of ladies here in Flat Earth. And I just wondered if, maybe each one, we'll start with Roxanne. What are you doing in Flat Earth in the near future?
I'm glad you asked that, Karen. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I'm going back to Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park, London, to go and tell another few hundred people they've been lied to. And then I'm going to go back the week after, hopefully with even more people than I went there with the week before, to go and tell even more people they've been lied to. And then every single Sunday in August, I'm going there to tell even more people they've been lied to. So that's what Roxanne's doing over the next 6 weeks. Next.
Oh, not much then, Roxanne.
Not much. No, just a couple of Sundays out there telling people they've been lied to, popping red pills.
That reminds me of the song, Roxanne, turn on the red light. That song?
Turn on the flat.
She's turning on the red pill, you know? That's awesome.
Roxanne, turn on the red pill.
That's it. Remix.
Yeah.
Remix.
Yeah, remix it.
Don't go to the doctor if you're feeling ill.
Hey. So,
Let's see.
Flat Earth dude, he's good at
Oh, and I forgot to mention. If anyone's listening and they're within the proximity of London and they want to get involved, you don't have to do activism. There's a gorgeous cafe that does food and drink in Hyde Park that is within a stone's throw of Speaker's Corner, where you can sit with a cup of tea and something nice sweet and just watch red pills being given, if that's what you want to do.
You said that wrong. Sorry, Roxanne. You said that
watch
wrong.
Roxanne in action.
Roxanne, you said it wrong then.
Not watch the people's reaction, not watch me. Watch
No. What you
Not
should have
me.
said is, there's a cafe nearby. They sell good food, good drink. Go in there, buy me something, and get out to Speaker's Corner so you can feed me and listen to what I'm saying.
Love it. Well, listen, that might be more needed in the cold months, because what I forgot to say was after August, Ruben as well, he's going to be heavily involved in it. The last Sunday of each month, hopefully, thereafter, for good, end of, one way or the other,
Hello.
spoken about in London on a monthly basis. So that's that. Have that.
Amazing.
Yay. That's brilliant, Roxanne.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks for that. And of course, obviously, yeah, I can mention things for you from Sun and Moon, as you know, that I can put things out for you.
Hey, Roxanne, if you're interested, I would like to donate a megaphone to you if you want.
Oh, you and the rest. Plain Ranger's already beating you to it, man. He's already given us a big fuck off megaphone, and Ruben's got one. But if you want to donate, we'll all use one. So thank you so much. Thank you. That is like the best donation. Give us something so we don't have to break our voices.
Nice. I saw
And
you
get
with
everybody
that
to listen
megaphone.
to you very easily.
Voice like a foghorn. Tom was hanging out the window of the car on the way. The car activist is brilliant. It's on one of the bits of content on my channel, actually. He's at the beginning of the video. I gave a snippet, and then you can see Ruben with the megaphone down in Portsmouth. You can actually see Victoria on the megaphone in Portsmouth as well. She had a go on it. She was braver than me. That is a one warrior of a lady. And she owned it. She owned it. She literally owned it. So yeah, the megaphones are the way forward. Much more people can hear us.
They don't have restrictions or anything, like you can't use that because of noise ordinances or something.
It's not
No,
Canada.
Just can't use any profanity. That's all.
This one that I have, it actually sings that ole, 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 ole. It's funny actually because my partner at work is called Ole. But wouldn't it be fun if we could get one that we could reprogram it so it didn't say ole, ole, ole. It sang like, the Earth,
Alex.
or one of Alex's tunes or something. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be super cool. Maybe
What?
some of them have got an
Feasible.
auxiliary so that you can plug them into a phone and play whatever's on the phone.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Cool idea.
Cool.
And you know what? I just want to clarify. That is the general gist at Speaker's Corner. We're not talking about on your local high street outside Marks and Spencer's, or if you're in America outside your local Walmart. We're talking about a place that is steeped in history, where it is promoted to get up on your soapbox and shout the odds at people. So that's what we're going to do there. So, I can fully appreciate anyone who's saying, barking at people might not work. No, barking at people is not going to work when you're in a nice, town centre. Talking to people with humility and having a civilized conversation is what you need to do in situations like that, I would presume, but not at Speaker's Corner. You kind of need to be made of stronger stuff to go and talk to people at Speaker's Corner. If you go there with a nicey attitude, you'll get eaten up and spat out within half an hour and be going home licking your wounds. Yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted, Speaker's Corner. And I beg to differ, anyone that's gone there from the 24th and the week after that we were there. Allegedly, Dave was there. He did some activism there. Dave Marsh was there. Harry did some activism there. Tom and Victoria did activism there. Colin, Aaron. The list is endless of people that went and did activism there. And they all now have a first-hand experience of how you have to level up about 15 levels to deal with that. that these are people that have maybe not Dave, but Tom, Victoria, Colin, Harry, they've all gone and done various different types of activism, but they saw how massively different Speaker's Corner was. People are shopping for information there. There's people having religious arguments, and the religious arguments, that is where the police are standing, because those debates get physical. Those debates genuinely get physical, and it's like a very intimidating area to be around. You know, there are people that have like masked up their faces. There's people that look and behave very aggressive. So you have to kind of have a backbone. So sorry to go on about it a bit there, but it's not for mealy mouthed soft talk. It's you know, it's hardcore. Not
for the faint of heart. I don't think I could do it. I could be a part of it, but like watching someone like you do it, I don't have the, I don't know, it's the courage or guts or I have the conviction, but I just don't have, a lot of it is also being very confident with your material.
Yeah.
You know, that's you. We all can be confident that we know that the Earth is not a globe, et cetera, but being able to verbalize it and answer on the fly questions that you might never have expected from out of left field by people inside them, aggressive people, that takes really quick thinking.
And in other situations, you know, you get a megaphone out and start barking at people, you'll get incarcerated. You'll get parted off in the loony bin. So I would suggest, if anyone's watching this, please do not just go out into your local town or city with a megaphone and start barking at people, telling them they've been lied to, because there will be bylaws, there will be restrictions. You know, we don't all have freedom of speech. If you live in the UK, please look up Article 10. Okay, look up Article 10 and you will see that there's qualifiers for that freedom of speech. There are massive restrictions. And unless
sorry, Roxanne, Article 10, what is that then? If you can enlighten us a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I'll happily enlighten you. I'll actually show you as it goes. If you just give me a second, please talk amongst yourself.
Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if a very well-versed flat earther would make some kind of a book for people like us? Like Patricia, you said you don't think you would be, you know, confident enough with some of the questions thrown at you. If someone could work out a book, like every possible question, all the weird, all the hard ones, and put it in a book, I'd buy that book.
Perfect timing. I was talking with Karen about this the other day, that there should be some sort, and someone wrote it in one of the chats.
The Flat Earth Activist Handbook.
There should be a 101 book or some sort or something, you know, where everyone can, you know, this is the book we relate to, because we all agree, because we're all flat earthers, but we disagree on many things, or we get the numbers wrong, you know, many times, you know. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that they ought to be. I'm not saying that it should be, but they ought to be, you know, some sort of a.
If Globe Busters could collaborate together, you know, and get it written, maybe Morgile, John could write it, because he's so well written. This guy is amazing to me.
Yeah, he's very.
If he was writing a book, I don't know what happened to that, but if he could write another book, I think we would all buy it. It would be so nice to have it.
Yeah, but I mean, simply put, it would be easy just to put it on a piece of paper, you know, 2 sides, 3 sides, 5 sides, 10 sides.
Or even like laminated flashcards on one of those things, so you could flip very big print, so you could quickly.
I think Flat Earth deserves to have a book. I think Flat Earth deserves to have a book with an index. Someone asks you a question, you look at the index, quickly find the answer, and then you can look it up, because we're not expected to know every single thing. Some questions can be quite complicated, and I mean, I know for me, I'm not going to be able to answer it, but I want to be able to.
I've had so many questions, Bling, honestly, in regards to stars, and how does this work there, and how does that work there, and well, what about this down in the southern hemisphere? And I'm like, ask me that question again, you know. I mean, really, these are some deep questions I get asked, you know. I'm unable to answer. I'm struggling really, because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not that clever on the stars, you know.
Roxanne has Article 10 ready to roll.
I've got it here ready. Okay, so if you're all listening, I'm just going to play this for you now, and you'll hear what Article 10 is.
An initial declaration and then a qualifier. So the initial declaration is, everyone has the right to freedom of expression. This right shall include freedom to hold opinions, and to receive and impart information and ideas without interference
Next.
by public authority and regardless of frontiers. But then here comes the qualifier. The exercise of these freedoms, since it carries with it duties and responsibilities, may be subject to such formalities, conditions, restrictions, or penalties as are prescribed by law and are necessary in a democratic society in the interest of national security, territorial integrity, or public safety, for the prevention of disorder or crime, for the protection of health or morals, for the protection of the reputation of others or rights of others, for preventing the disclosure of information received in confidence, or for maintaining the authority.
The authority is the word he was trying to say at the end. So basically, freedom of speech is freedom of speech until you read the second part, which is the qualifier, which basically tells you don't have freedom of speech. So unless you're on the right side of the bylaws, you will get arrested for disturbing the peace. And that's the kind of main one that they use. But yeah, it's a bit of a rigmarole, to be honest. So you've kind of got to pick and choose your locations wisely. And I can only imagine it's like probably a labyrinth in the United States for working out. I was even talking to Cece about it, and he was saying that there's no equivalent of speaker ponds. There's no place that you're able to go to where you can just start popping off like that.
I was going to ask you, Roxanne, don't you think that Speaker's Corner, as much as it's like, you know, it's well known and it's, you know, it's kind of famous, kind of, well, I mean, to us Britons and what have you, but I get the idea that it's kind of like, it's planned, you know, it's planned, you know, for sure, it's planned so that we can be controlled.
Yeah, they actively, do you remember the Cambridge Analytica?
Yeah.
That were in the news, right? Do you know that Oxford Analytica is involved with Speaker's Corner? Yeah, they analyze everybody that's there, apparently. The police vans that go back and forth have got cameras on them. They profile you, and they, you know, they well, have it, everyone, by all means, go and look up Oxford Analytica. Karen, oh, can I post a link in your chat room? I'll do it in a second.
As long as you don't show the link.
It's for oh no, I mean in the actual chat box in the thing. There's a guy called, I think his name's Swanalism. I can't say it properly, but he did a bit of content on the 4th or 5th of June, just before we went there, about a new monument that was at Speaker's Corner. But he went deep into the rules and regulations and where it's all stemmed from and this, that, and the other. So it's probably quite a useful thing to look at if you're interested in it.
So you're putting something in the chat room?
Yeah, I'm just going to find it. Give me a second. Yeah, go on. Oh, sorry, guys.
It is interesting how Speaker's Corner and places in the United States, which would generally be in an inner city where there would be a park with a cemented and cordoned off area, are and have always been through the history of time, an area where people are allowed, to one degree or another, to spout off, to let off steam in a way in which they can be observed by the government, like you were just saying, with vans monitoring you. But in the old days, it would just be, you know, political people watching you. So that the temperature of the people can be taken to see whether or not people are ready to rebel or not. So that the, you know, the hatches can be battened down if so. So these places are a great outlet for new ideas and new thought, but also it's the way the powers that should not be are keeping their eye on us too.
Yeah, totally. Sorry guys, I'm just clicked the wrong button on my phone and gone into the chat room if that came through on the mic there. Sorry about that. I'm just posting it into the chat room now. And I'll send it to you as well, Karen, in the Google Hangout one.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Kimmy, well done. Swillinism. It's the person's name, but he does like alternative vlogs of like some really interesting stuff. Like he did a video about the Freemasons and the lodges and the Old Bailey in London and the history behind it, and yeah, just some really interesting stuff. Super interesting stuff. don't think he's a flat earther. He doesn't want to communicate with people like us. A few of us have reached out to him and he's just not having it. He's not having it.
So, well, just like moving on for a moment there. Patricia, what are you doing in flat Earth in the near future?
Let's see. Well, there's this YouTuber who's pretty well known, but mostly only among younger people. And his name is Shane Dawson, Shane, Shane Dawson. He has 2 channels, and one of his channels is just simply called Shane. It's got 14 million subscribers. And back June 4th of 2018, just last month, he put out a video called Mind-Blowing Conspiracy Theories. And he went through a couple of different conspiracies. And he was doing it with his brother, his older brother. Now, his older brother himself has his own TV show and a movie or something coming out. And his brother and he are different physically. They look different, but they, they're pretty close. And his brother is interested in conspiracies, especially flat Earth. And in this mind-blowing conspiracy video collection with Shane and his older brother, Jared, they really talked about flat Earth at length. And it's one of the best, let's call it mainstream, top-down explanations of flat Earth and all things associated with it without mockery, without any stupid stuff thrown in like, oh, flat earthers believe the Earth's rising up. Nothing ridiculous. It's very well done. And so Mind-Blowing Conspiracies under the channel Shane, check it out. Next month, there's I think it's more than a 50% likelihood that Mark Sargent will be speaking with Shane's brother, Jared, maybe even Shane, and I'm going to, in Los Angeles. So it might be for a project that Shane's brother, Jared, is going to be doing. I'm not sure with or without Shane, with maybe his movie or his something. It's going to be strictly about flat Earth. And he's in flat Earth as much as any of us are. He knows what it's all about, and he's not laughing at it. Now, has he come out and said, I'm a flat earther? Well, in that video, both he and Shane, after they discussed flat Earth to the T, exactly as only a flat earther could, they kind of joked and said, yeah, but I'm not a flat earther, and laughed. But in that laugh, it was that slight holdback some people do when they're afraid to lose their audience. But you know they're there. You know they're in it. And why would Shane's brother contact Mark Sargent out of the blue, of all people, Mark? Because Mark was one of those videos in the Flat Earth Clues that he came across early on and that got him on his flat Earth journey. And he wants to do a project with him. And that's what I'm going to go check out with Mark. More than a 50% likelihood at the beginning of next month in Los Angeles. And then we've got the second Flat Earth International Conference in Edmonton, Canada next month. Other than that, just interviews. I've got an interview coming up this coming Monday, with a guy who lives in Hawaii named Joey Rocha, who's a raw vegan and a flat earther, and has been talking a lot about volcanoes not being what we've been told. He does most of his work on Facebook. He's a cool guy who cured himself of cancer. I think it might have been pancreatic cancer, and has a baby. He and his wife are raising vaccine-free. An interesting guy. So interviews, and then maybe a couple different trips, LA and Edmonton. So that's going to make a very exciting August for me. Who wants to go next? I nominate Bling Bling. Bling Bling, are you there?
Anybody there?
I'm here. I accept your nomination. Thank you. I'm
Bling,
doing what?
Doing then?
Yes.
Yeah. What, you found any more flies?
I've been battling with this Red's rhetoric crowd now. Thank you very much, Bob. Actually, well, I appreciated Bob putting my video on his channel, 24-hour channel. I had my first hit piece, like I said earlier. So I've been doing back and forth. And if you do the deep kind of thing that I've asked with my video, with especially the second one, when I use the filter, the green filter, that really highlights the fly on the glass, and you watch that video, and I've gone frame by frame, you can totally see that fly is morphing and changing its shape as only a fly could, because they move so quickly as they're walking. And you see it's changing. You can see the fly's shape. You see his little antennae. You see his legs. You see the shape of his wings. You see him sort of turn on his side at some point, and his oval, like sort of curved body shape. I got a photo of a fly that was on glass, and I compared the two, and I mean, it's a freaking fly. And of course, they've been like, here, but very politely, I guess, as they do, telling, their group how it's not a fly and it's a speck. So I've been sort of all week now, ever since I realized that that video was there. I've been, because I think it was early June that it was put up, and I wasn't notified until a few days ago, or a week ago. So I've been sort of battling on that. But no more, I haven't found any more flies, but I have found a whole bunch of other very suspicious stuff. And I'm 3/4 the way through my video, so it should be coming out very soon now. Everyone's been asking, when's your next video? It's coming, it's coming. And it should be quite good, because there's some cool stuff in there. I don't want to divulge. You'll just have to wait and see. But that's what I do. I sit and look at NASA footage all of the time, frame by frame, with jeweler's glasses. I think maybe I'll make a video of myself wearing the glasses so you can see me, what I look like when I'm in them. Like, I kind of look like a fly, but it really, really helps. I also just recently invested in a very large, it's a lamp, and it has magnification, and it's so great. And I'm using that too now. So I can, because it's so big, I can just hold my phone under it and just see everything bigger. And you have to do that. If you really want to be thorough, you got to enlarge stuff so you can see the little details. So that's why I'm catching this stuff. Most people aren't using jeweler's glasses and magnification. I have actually 3 different things that I use. So that's why I can see it so clearly, and others I can't see it. Well, get yourself some magnification. You can buy a cheap pair of magnification glasses on Amazon for probably $10.
Bling, bling. Just want to make sure you don't take them to bed with you, do you?
No, I don't, but maybe I should. No, and I don't mean that way. I mean on the reverse. Maybe it'll make me more interesting. Maybe then my husband will start looking at me again. Oh, that's what happens when you get older, And I get so many comments. Oh no, all my haters. You just need to get boinked,
Oh my gosh, are you serious? That's what they say?
I realize that. Talk to him.
So people will say anything to take away from the information you're putting out. They call Roxanne. They said, I'm a man. They say, you need to get effed. I mean,
all the time. That's a very common one.
Information that we're putting out, and stop making these statements that have nothing to do with the things we're talking about. Nothing.
Well, that's how they stonewall. I mean, it's like a little kid, they're saying something, and then all of a sudden the other little kid will change the subject, and I'm just going to get my big brother after you. They don't have anything. They don't know how to fight for themselves. So I'm going to get my big brother after you, because their big brother didn't teach them to freaking knock somebody out like me when I was a little kid. So they don't have anything to come back with. I've provided some very clear evidence that is very strong, and all they can do is say, you need to get laid,
Yeah, because that would make it so that I can't see reality anymore. What?
Okay. Yeah, getting laid will just make me get off my channel, and you'll never see me again.
So if Roxanne and I really were men, then anything we've ever said is meaningless. I mean, what? I have a question though, Bling Bling. Remember the video that was done? It was an ISS footage video. There was the tall guy with the khaki pants and the green shirt, and the shorter, heavier guy with the blue shirt with the collar. And then behind them flew a guy with what looked like a battery pack and a harness.
Yeah, that one.
And
joystick.
And yes, exactly. Now, when I first saw that video and everyone was saying, look, you can see the harness, I thought, well, I see that guy wearing a harness. You must be talking about the guys in the foreground, because the guy with the harness is so obviously with a harness. I thought maybe that guy was supposed to be wearing that thing as part of, something they were doing in space.
Some experiment.
Yeah. And so only recently did I look at that video again and go, oh my gosh, hidden in plain sight. That guy wearing the harness is the one that people are saying is the guy wearing the harness, meaning they literally didn't green screen it out.
You gave a Flatty Award for that video.
Yes. but there was another part to that video, which was the handoff of that baseball cap or the hat.
That's my favorite part of it, actually.
Right. But the guy in the harness.
They can argue and say, yeah, we were doing a science experiment, where he had to wear this special thing on his back for his blood pressure, some BS,
Of course, there'll always be something. I mean, just
because they're studying fluids. That's all they do is study fluids. They've been studying fluids for over 20 years.
They've been
don't know how they work.
growing lettuce. How many times?
Only lettuce.
And they're always discovering water on Mars. I mean, how many times can you discover it? I think only once, as far as I've ever heard. Only once.
Grow a carrot. Impress us all.
I was going to say they can study my fluid. I'll spit on their faces. They can watch it attack them, slowly in, zero gravity.
I just
Man
think
can't live on lettuce alone, We need more than lettuce to survive.
Even me as a vegan needs more than lettuce.
Yeah.
I just think it's quite incredible that these mistakes are so evident and no one above us is saying anything. No government's going or anybody saying, yeah, actually looking at that video, I can see there's paused astronauts on it or whatever. I just don't get it.
People don't think, Karen, that's a problem.
Nobody watches them that closely. They just watch it at face value and they move on with their life. They don't spend 24 hours watching and studying frame.
Even if they was to see 5 minutes of a video that you've done with, 100% proof there that this is fake, they'll look at it and think, yeah, all right, well, someone just uploaded a video and they just don't react to it, they don't let it absorb into their brains, because it's
just their cognitive
shallow thinking for them,
You could I could go and stalk out Buzz Aldrin, bring the best scotch over to his house. I know where he lives in Satellite, Florida. Sit him down, get him drunk, offer him sex. Yeah, I might like that. and I could get a confession as pillow talk. Get it all on film, and and guess what? People would still say, "No, it's not true. They went to the moon."
Right. Hey, get this right. So I'm working with this new guy. I've got a new partner at work, and I want to go gently with this one, very gently. So I'm saying to him he's asking me what I'm into. I'm into music, of course. I'm into music. Conspiracies. I'm into conspiracy theories, I say to him. And I left it open. Oh, yeah. And I said, what about 9/11? No, load of shit. He's going. I was like, all right, good, man. What about the moon then? The first one, yeah, but not the second one.
Yeah, exactly.
The first time I've ever heard anything like that. I looked at him like, what? I was totally shocked, man. I'm like, what? Come on, we've never been to the moon. Never, and then he's like, oh, okay. I think he will agree. He's got to agree. But how he can never come up with the fact that, the first one, no, but the first one, yeah, but not the second one. I mean, wow, come on, man. Wow, you really shocked me that. Never heard that before.
Well, my husband believes that they showed us the fake footage, but they really did go to the moon, but there's just too much secretive stuff there that they couldn't show us the truth. He's one of those guys because he's a total globe believer. We're total night and day people. So whatever, I can't wake him up. He won't listen or look at any evidence. So it is what it is.
That's a very crafty way that they laid these sort of minefields for people, or traps, like concentric circle traps, so that people would fall in to those traps. They're not going to believe the official story because they're smarter than that. So they'll fall into there's a face on Mars. Oh, there was extra special ET technology on the moon that they couldn't show, so they had to fake it. So people get caught there and they never escape. Only upon escaping that can you see the flat Earth and the fake moon landing and everything else.
Absolutely. Totally true what you're saying. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So who's next? I yield the floor.
I'm not sure if Lisa's there and she's still doing something at the moment. Lisa, are you there? She just messaged saying she had to quickly, she's feeding one of these dogs she's looking after. I'm not sure.
I am here. Yes, I am here. I am here. I just haven't been able to sit back down and speak with you guys yet. Did you need me?
Well, I asked the questions about on the panel to the ladies. What are you doing in Flat Earth?
Girl, I got
in the near future,
experiments
but I mean,
lined up. I'm going to be doing experiments. No.
you go on Pancho Pete's a lot, don't you?
Yes, I'm the people girl. I go, I support the channel. Plus, I mean, right, I did do a little bit of activism recently. I had a little tiny flat earth meetup with me and my 2 other people. And then we had gone to the casino and I did flat smack someone. I felt very prepared because Juby had he was kind of harsh with me one night. Not harsh, but he was like, you know, if you're going to defend flat earth, you need to be ready. And so he rapid fired me some questions and like, I did okay, you know, when I went to the casino. However, right now, I'm just like super, super busy with my pet sitting. And, you know, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not the experiment person, but I very much would like to attend some flat earth meetups. They had one in Louisiana on the weekend of Mother's Day. I couldn't attend. Yeah. And I do want to say this. When I was driving, I heard you guys say about the like a handbook. I forgot what did Patricia call it. I don't know. I like the name, but I think that would be great. Like how to defend flat earth. If they say this, you say that.
Well said.
Because,
How to defend flat Earth. Perfect.
Right.
Love that.
Right.
Well said.
Because even though I might know what I'm talking about, it's hard for me. I'll trip up on my words, and it's hard for me to articulate sometimes, or I'll just get stumped. You know, not stumped, but then you feel like, oh, you know, this isn't going well, and then maybe in my case, I would just like shut down. But yeah, that's just, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just hanging in, really, hanging in. But I'm still here.
I've seen amazing people who definitely can defend flat Earth perfectly well. I'm talking about high profile flat earthers that you see all of the time in debates or, you know, doing their own thing, who sometimes when they're asked a question by a globe believer on a live video or a recorded video, they don't have that answer that I know the answer. And I'm like, you know, I'm like the peanut gallery saying blah, blah, blah. So what I'm saying is every one of us could learn a little when it comes to street activism, because there's always better answers than ones that we know. Hey,
Lucy Lemons joined us.
Hey, Lucy.
Here.
Hello, my darling. You made it okay.
I'm going back to feeding the dog.
Bye.
Oh, just to explain to you, Lucy, we have Bling Bling BS of the ISS. She's got the blonde hair. She's muted at the moment. Lesia's just muted herself. She's got
Hi
the
there.
face.
How are you? Nice to see you.
We've got our Patricia. Oh, sorry. We've got our Patricia from the UK, who's English. Patricia. We've got Patricia Steere. Long dark hair lady. That's Roxanne. And then Astral. He's the only guy on here because he's part of Sun and Moon. And he's going to put a dress on, aren't you? Anyway, welcome to Sun and Moon.
Hey.
Can we hear Lucy?
No.
Hi guys, I hope.
Oh, there. Yay. Good.
How are you, Patricia? How are you, Karen? How's everyone doing? Greetings from Palmdale, California. It's like 100 degrees over here. It's super hot. Oh my goodness.
I couldn't take it.
We're doing quite well. It's quite hot in UK at the moment as well.
And
For
I'm
a change.
Yeah,
but I don't know what Fahrenheit is, but it's been 27 today. It's probably about 85 or something, I think, around there. It's been warm anyway.
that's not
Anyway,
too bad. I like.
oh, sorry, I cut her off, I think, by going, say that again, Lucy, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I said I think the 80s is the perfect weather, kind of like San Diego. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, just right like Goldilocks.
Hey.
Yeah, San Diego's nice. I live in Houston, and it's incredibly hot here. Not as hot as it is where you are, Lucy, but it's too hot here. It's not the kind of weather I like. Right now, it's raining, so it's cooled down a bit, but it's 85 degrees. Goes into the 90s and around 100 Fahrenheit. So around, like, I don't know, I'm going to do a quick calculation, like 30 something plus degrees Celsius. It's just too hot for humans. It's just not for me. But here I am. Here's where I live. You know, what are you going to do? But San Diego would be.
You two met each other, didn't you, at the California meet?
Yes, but I feel like we met each other another time before that. Oh, yeah, we did at Raleigh, North Carolina at the Flat Earth Conference in 2017. 2 times. And I remember seeing Lucy. We were kind of walking toward each other, and she's just looked so dramatic and cool. Like, just the outfit she was wearing and the way she was presented herself and the lipstick color, she just looked so dramatic and cool. And I'm like, whoa, when I first saw her. So yeah, I remember that.
You look really nice too.
Thanks.
Can I just say,
you were with someone, Lucy, who was wearing a Russian fur trapper's hat, which also added to the imagery of you and this guy. I don't know the guy's name. I'm sorry, I can't remember. You two walking around together. Like, it was very like, who are these people who, dare I say, beamed down from another planet?
Yeah, we're from another world, but we came here to save humanity. Thank you. Yeah, his name is Joseph, the king of flat earth.
What's his name again?
Joseph.
All right. He was cool.
Thank you.
Well, in the chat room is Joe Mama. Well, he was there earlier on. And Flat Earth Dude, who was walking around with the camera. And that's where we met you, because he was filming it. Flat Earth Dude is in the chat room. So you've met him as well.
Oh.
Flat Earth Dude is here.
He's in the chat room.
Hi, Flat Earth Dude. How are you? The last time I
see just joined.
And also Joe Mama's been in the chat room as well. I'm sure you met him as well.
Marmar. Oh, I haven't spoken to Marmar in a minute. Oh, she was going to move last time I heard of her.
Where was she moving to?
I think Marmar was moving to the Washington, Oregon place from San Francisco.
Oh, well, that's a nice climate there for sure. Very nice. I mean, people think, oh, it only rains there and it's cloudy. No, not really. It's very lush and green and moist, and just, it's very nice. I was born in Spokane, Washington, which is it's a ways from Seattle, but I like Northern California a lot, and those sorts of environments, as opposed to like Houston or the desert part of LA. I don't like that. But
well, I've been to Oregon a few times already. It is very beautiful and lush. It's very green. It's very moist, overcast, and there's not a lot of sun. I like to sun gaze, so that's one thing that but other than that, it definitely rains more than it rains here, and this is a desert area.
Right. But everywhere you live, anywhere across the plane, any of us live, there are the positives and the negatives. You know, you say you like to sun gaze, so if you move there, you won't be able to. But somewhere else you live might be just too darn hot, and you can sun gaze all the time, but you don't want to go outside. So you got to pick.
It's terrible.
Yeah. But San Diego might be perfect, though. Might be perfection.
But you guys have got it lucky living in America, because it's such a vast, huge country. You know, I mean, compare it to like Europe, it's probably bigger than Europe, you know. And if you take, for example, the UK, well, we get one sort of weather there, and if it's raining, it's practically raining everywhere, you know. If it's sunny, it's more or less sunny everywhere because it's such a small country, you know. But yeah,
It's true, but when you live away from the United States, let's say you're living in the UK, you can travel to all sorts of other countries in the snap of a finger because it's all close and smaller. Where in the United States, yes, we can travel from state to state very easily, but when we want to go somewhere, like let's say I want to go to England, that's a trip you've got to plan for because it's pretty far away and quite expensive to get there. So, you know, it's, you know, I guess like everything else, there's positives and negatives to living in both places.
Yeah, why can't we just have everything that we want? Everything is always limited, and it shouldn't be. We shouldn't live in limitation because
agree.
it has a lot of abundance. It has a lot of things for everyone, like food and water, and lots of space for everyone to live. You know, there's not enough space for people. Like, I feel like you can just grab all these billions of people and put them in one place and still have all this big old world left, you know? We
yeah,
shouldn't have to be counting
I hear
pennies and none of that stuff.
that's true. The world is such a big place, you know. Where we live in, it's a huge, vast place, but yet we're all sort of boxed into little, you know, communities and small cities and towns, or big cities even for that matter, you know. And we're all
Somebody told us we built our own prisons.
we
They've
have
let us build our own prisons. You know, apartments mean apart from everyone else.
Yeah. Apart from your mind. Ment is like the mind, right? So like apart from everyone. That's why they created these big old cities so that people can't be with each other in little communities, little neighborhoods and stuff. So they have these big old cities in between. People don't have backyards. People don't have space to walk. Like there's no space for you, you know? You're like on a leash always with money.
They don't want the people talking or coming together. They don't. Because we're all starting to wake up now, aren't we? And starting to come together. And they're not really going to like it in the end, are they? Because they've spent all this time and energy trying to make sure they've kept us apart.
Yeah, and if you think about it, right, this is never going to be stopped. Not a chance, because, right, for one, we are waking up. We've got the internet. That's the biggest tool that we've got, you know. We can reach billions of people instantaneously. I mean, if we get the right title or whatever, you know, the earth is flat, whatever it is, yeah, you can reach so many people, you know. But the time will come, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, because more and more people are, you know, tuning into this fact that they're not living on a ball like they're supposed to be living on, you know. People are waking up.
Yeah, like Globus has just put space, the final frontier. Oh my goodness gracious me. So funny and stupid, isn't it? But can I just ask Lucy, as she's not been on one of our hangouts before, what's your story for Flat Earth then? How did you get to understand we're on a flat plane and so forth? What was it that worked for you? How long have you been a flat earther? Did you hear that, Lucy? That was for you.
Oh, okay. How did it change for me knowing that I'm on a flat plane?
Yeah, well, how long ago did you sort of wake up or whatever it is?
It was all by chance and coincidence. I was watching YouTube videos, and then one video led to another like that in 2015 in the summer. And I didn't really put any energy into it until 2017. I guess it took that long for me because knowing about the flat earth is like a little rabbit hole that just opens a whole bunch of other things. Because yeah, the earth is flat and we know that. So now what? But there's so many more conspiracies behind that, conspiracies, whatever people want to call it. I call them truths, or, you know, behind that. And so when I realized that the earth is flat, I saw so many other things and so many other lies that were being fed to the whole world. And it just opened up a big can of worms, you know, for so many other things. It was in 2017, best thing that could have happened to me in my life. But also with that, with knowing so many things and being so smart, like your consciousness just expands. And sometimes it's so hard to be in here because you know so much. It's like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. You know, being so smart, it can be painful.
Yeah, because
Kind of how I look up.
what do you do in Flat Earth? Do you like just going to the meetups and things, or are you more active? You know, like Roxanne's active, Patricia Steere's active, Bling's active, making her videos. Lesia goes on Punch a Pete. But my Patricia here, she helps me with Astral. We're part of Sun and Moon. So what do you do? What's your take in Flat Earth?
My intention with what I do, which is I do little videos whenever I go to Flat Earth meetup. I let them know, hey guys, this is what's going on. Check this out. There's this awesome meetup in so-and-so place, and you guys should come and join us, and kind of like a little insight of what's happening. And my intentions with that is so that more people can become aware. And I want to make it fun, you know, I don't want to make it like boring, you know. Sometimes you got to make it fun so that people can be like, ooh, the Flat Earth, what is that? Let me look at that. You know, like your approach. So I try to make it into a fun approach so that people can be open to the topic about it. Some people just say, no. But if you approach them in the right way, then you might get what you want, you know. So my intention is just to bring forth heaven on earth for the benefit of all, in the sense that if I can wake up even one soul, that's good enough, you know, with my little videos. I'm not like a professional or nothing like that. I humbly do my things, you know.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, thank you. It's great. And are your friends with you, or are your family with you? You know,
To the meetup?
No, I mean, do they support, you know, do they understand about Flat Earth, or is it just you and your family, or does everybody in your family, your friends?
I know my family supports me 100%. They're right behind me. Anything that I do, they tell me, Lesia, you know, we have your back, Lucy, whatever it is that you do. They don't necessarily believe in the Flat Earth, but to me, it's good enough that they have my back. That's a good start. And they just, I guess maybe they're a little bit busy, so it's not their thing, you know, to look into the Flat Earth. But I try to wake them up whenever I can. You can't push it too hard on people, because some people are going to get it, some people are not going to get it. And they would just have to respect that. As long as they respect me, I respect them. That's my motto. You respect me and you treat me right, because that's what I do for you. So we do that to each other, even if you don't believe in the things that I believe, or you don't, whichever way you see it, you know, just always treat each other right.
Flat Earth is for everyone, but it's only for everyone when each person is ready for it. Some people aren't ready. And like you said, you can't push it on them. You literally will come across as a crazy freak pushing, like people say vegans push their agenda, or religious people. You're just going to be going into that category. And when you become a pusher of an idea, many people will they will cover their ears and block you out. So you know, dropping information is great, and then the seeds will take root in the people that they need to, and other people it may take a very long time for something to germinate, and other people nothing might ever happen to them. Like Bling, I know you said earlier that you're doing some battle with Red's rhetoric. Nothing's going to ever germinate in that boy.
Yeah, at least he's polite about it.
He's polite to you? Well, that is nice, because he's not polite very much at all on anything I've ever heard him on. He's very sweary, let's say. But I'm glad he's polite with you. That shows he's growing. That's nice. I mean, on his Hangouts, I've heard them a bit, and he's like, every other word is an F-bomb. So, whatever.
Really?
Wow.
He's very young, and he hangs out with a bunch of young guys, and they all feel very self-satisfied in their knowledge that everything that the mainstream says has happened has indeed happened, just like they said. And he will defend it to his death.
Wow. Who joined us?
Hey, Trouble About just joined us.
Oh.
I can't hear you. You're muted, darling. That's it. Yeah, I have to turn you up a bit because you're always a bit quiet. Trouble About's from Australia.
Here comes trouble. Hello.
Morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh yeah, because it's from Roxanne. Your screen's gone green.
Lovely.
Green screen.
So's everyone else. I've got green screens all over my laptop. Everyone's CGI. Is that what it is? Are we all just fake? Is that what it is?
Do the shill. Do the shill. Chill.
Shill alert. Green screen alert. Roxanne's a hologram. No, I'm joking. It's I can see screen on my phone though, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's just green. I lost your icon.
It's green. Yeah.
So
Green means go. That's a good thing. Green is life.
Just to say that it's actually Friday for Trouble About, whereas it's Thursday for us.
But how can she be in Australia? Flat earthers don't believe in Australia.
It's 7:30 here, nearly.
Karen, if
Oh,
I jump
in
out
the morning.
well
Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you want, I mean, yeah, it's just green.
Yeah, no, I'll come out. On my phone as well, it doesn't look very appealing. It's just a big screen of green when I'm talking, so it's not very good for your playback purposes, my darling. So I will come out and come back in again. All right, sweetie?
Oh, there you've got a green screen. I want a green screen. Hello there, Trouble. You all right, love? After your little accident, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm limping a bit faster now. So yeah, it's
Little
starting to become
accident.
good. Yeah, I ran into something on my electric bike because I can't drive anymore. So I've been getting around on an electric bike, which has made life a lot easier. But I came home a different way, and I was on a nature strip, and they had a concrete drain, and I ran straight into it. So my leg went one way, and the rest of my body went another way. So but yeah, I'm healing. I'm healing okay now. This last few days.
Oh, just to, I'm very sorry about that, Trouble. Just to explain to the ladies on the panel, Trouble About had quite a bad stroke, which probably the prognosis wasn't that good, and she has healed herself. She said that she never.
Sorry.
Pardon?
You keep going. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Well, I was just saying, you know, for her, it was that bad that she didn't even have an inner voice. But now she's getting much better, aren't you, my darling?
Yeah, I'm heaps better. Yeah, my vocabulary's come back. I'm still learning to have conversations. That's still at times gets a bit hard, but it's not too bad. And I'm just down to my sight mostly, just the last little bit in the centre. My central vision's pixelated. It's sort of shattered. In fact, my whole vision was, and slowly come in, and I'm just trying to see through that, and yeah, I've no idea what I'm doing. My body's healing itself, and I've had it. You know, I'm learning about. I've gotten off all the medication. I haven't been on that for 4 years, and I'm just learning about all the natural stuff to replace.
And is that what Karen meant when she said you're healing yourself?
Yes, yes. I don't go to the doctors anymore because they tell me there's nothing they can do. So go home and have a nice life. And I've just been one of those lucky ones where I've healed anyway. And I was scared because I had cluster migraines, and that's what brought on strokes. And then I just woke, so I'd been in hospital, but they wouldn't. The first time I went to hospital, they gave me injection, and that would stop the pain. But every time after that, they just gave me endone, and so I'd take half an hour to kick in, and they were really bad migraines. They were like suicide. I was having a couple a day, and so I ended up in hospital, and they did the same thing there, and I must have had a couple of maybe mini strokes in hospital because they ended up with a guard on me because I kept getting lost. I don't remember a lot of it. I did a few odd things in hospital I won't tell you about. I'm embarrassed. And then I discharged myself apparently because I think I was sick of. I thought I could have the endone at home and at least be comfortable. And then I got up the next day walking into walls and couldn't remember who anybody was. I couldn't hold a memory. And so I've just sort of slowly recovered for a couple of years, and then someone showed me Zeitgeist, and I got onto that because I had a lot of time to spend on the internet because I couldn't see, I couldn't read, or watch TV, or do anything that I used to do. So I spent a lot of time on YouTube, and learned, watched docos on everything. I've relearned everything.
And now you're a master with a P900, and Trouble goes out and takes many pictures of the stars. She likes the stars, don't you?
Yeah, well, I use the camera because I can get it back on the laptop and then enlarge it, and I can replace memories of what things look like. And so I did a lot of the stars, the sky, but I didn't have a very good camera until it died at Christmas time, and everybody was buying the P900s. So I went out and bought that, and I've just been making video after video after video. I've got like 200 online. And so now I've started naming them Flat Earth, putting that at the front. So that's what I'm up to.
Yeah. Thanks for that, and it's I'm so glad. I mean, I only know you as now, so I didn't know you before, but you come on our hangouts a bit, and always a joy to have you, Trouble.
Oh, thanks. I like hanging out on yours. I like typing. I've gotten really good at typing. So, yeah, I like being in the hangouts.
Anyway, just to explain to you, we obviously got Roxanne Glen. I'm not sure if you've been on a hangout with her. She's there. Astral's there wearing a dress. Ha, only joking. We've got Patricia Steere, our Patricia. We've got Lucy Lemons, Lesia's in the background, and Bling Bling.
I know everybody except Lesia. I've watched everybody's videos a lot.
You know, I just remembered, Karen, that when we did that hangout and we were on all night and I was in my pajamas, remember when we all watched the sun come up the following day?
Yes!
Do you remember? Trouble was on that one. I think we met each other on that one. We spent the night together, my darling.
Yeah, that was probably the nicest time of hangout for Trouble, because she's someone else that come on our hangouts has to be there quite early. 7:30 in the morning.
Trouble, who sung that song?
What song?
The last
I
song
get up
the title of.
Say that again, sorry?
Spend the Night Together.
Oh, I don't know. I know yeah, that sounds familiar.
Because
I'm not very good.
You do the same like I do. When you hear the song title in a sentence, boom, that's what I'm asking you. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of healing was singing, believe it or not. Mum said I was singing before I was speaking. So it's like a lot of memories are held in singing.
Yeah, sorry, you finished. You finished talking. Pull Trouble then. Yeah, so it's really nice having a panel of ladies. Sorry, guys, because usually I'm one of the only women on there.
It's lovely, isn't it? I think it's awesome. It's freaking awesome.
It is.
It's growing, definitely. I think definitely it's growing. More women. Do you think maybe women are a little bit like shy or like apprehensive about speaking about it? Or why do you think there's only like a smaller amount of women and then like a whole bunch of men that are like into this?
I've often wondered that as well, if I'm being honest with you. I really have. I've often wondered that. Why is there a massive influx of men in the truth community and only the odd female here and there? What's up?
Yeah, you'd expect it to be equal, wouldn't you? In all reality, I wouldn't expect it to be any different because we are from all walks of life and from all aspects,
I know why. Because men theoretically watch way more YouTube than women do. That's why.
Fair point. Yeah.
Just look at my subs. What's that?
Some of the subjects though that's talked about in Flat Earth, maybe it doesn't interest a lot of women.
I think it's an aggressive scene. All the conspiracies are. It doesn't matter which topic you go into.
I'll tell you, you can do a little test. You can put a little headline, makeup and a flat earth or some shit like that, and you see how many people you can get to watch it,
That's a good idea. I was actually thinking about doing a nail channel and talking about flat earth while I do nails. Because
It's the
these women with these nail channels have like hundreds of thousands of subs.
Seriously, that is a good idea. And although you'll get some flack because anything you do outside of the norm, especially if you're a woman in flat earth, you get the flack. But I think it's a fantastic idea. One of the things I was thinking about doing before I even knew about flat earth, I was toying with the idea of doing a vegan makeup channel, like makeup reviews for vegan products. This was way before flat earth, but I never did it because I don't really, I mean, I like vegan makeup. That's all I use, and vegan beauty products. Sure. But I never did it because I didn't have a driving passion. What got me to create a channel was flat earth. So, you know, it's one of those things I've considered later on. Like, what if I did a secondary channel, not flat earth and other hot potatoes?
That's what I'm talking about.
Did makeup reviews and talked about flat earth while I was, but then I thought the flat earthers, the ones that don't like me for some unknown reason, they'd create.
They'll find you.
They'll find me and
you're
create.
a man wearing makeup.
Right. That's what'll happen. Stuff like that, and a bunch of hate.
Please, can I say something?
No, it's ladies' night. Shut up.
You need some makeup tips to go with what the stuff you asked earlier.
All right, let's let Astro speak. We're fine.
What, Astro?
Take that guitar you've got hanging behind you, plug it in, play a tune, and sing a flat earth song, and you'll get 1 million hits.
Well, I can't play the guitar at all. And the reason I have it is before flat earth, I bought it for my birthday, which happened to be in February 2015. And in March 2015, I found the Flat Earth Clues. And that bucket list item of learning how to play guitar just fell by the wayside. And I haven't really, I've had a couple lessons, but the guitar is quite big. I think I bit off more than I could chew. It's quite heavy for me. Even in the lessons, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, but I'm not getting rid of it because I think it's a beautiful piece of art and I'm not pretending I can play it. It's just there. Along with my Smith's records, it kind of fits. That's more of that's a Sheridan Epiphone that the band Oasis made famous playing. So yeah, I like it as a piece of art, but it is huge. If I picked it up right now, you'd be like, oh my God, you're dwarfed by it. It's heavy too. But I think through practice, it wouldn't be as heavy because my arms would become stronger. It just isn't anything I have as much time for as I thought I did. I used to have so much time because I wasn't consuming as much YouTube as I do now. Back in early 2015, before Mark ruined my life with the Flat Earth Clues. And Jaron and Bob and et cetera, everybody here, all of the videos that you end up watching. So, yep. That would be cool if I could play it though. And I'm just toying with you. And one day you click YouTube and you see a video of me just like totally jamming. That would be fun.
You should actually learn to play it in private and then, be really good at it, and come out like
that would be cool.
Something,
I'd like to do that.
Conference.
And also learn how to shoot a gun like a female James Bond, like kind of like Karen B does. She can shoot and just blow everybody away. I mean, I don't mean literally kill people, but I just freak people out when one day there's a video of me just like at a target, just like shh. But yeah, that's not going to happen either. But those are my fantasies.
You live in Texas. I thought everybody knew how to shoot a gun.
I don't know one person that has a gun as far as I know. I don't.
Okay.
You can go
back, yeah.
I live in the city itself, in an area called the Heights, which is near an area called River Oaks. I don't know. It's kind of close to downtown in the museum district, and et cetera. But in more rural areas or more outside the main part of the city where you have more land and where people keep animals on the farm, sure, there's people that probably, legally carry. And I'm sure I walk by people who are legally carrying all the time, but that stereotype of the cowboy hat and the gun and all that, I never see anybody like that ever. Just regular people, like all of us here. And, I think there's nothing wrong with having a gun. I just think it's just all about safety and being of sound mind when you're operating it and having the right training and, et cetera. I'm not one of those gun banning people for sure. It's not guns that kill people.
Exactly. So when you dress up in costume, are you a cowgirl?
No, I've never. No, that's not true. I did a show with Mark Sargent because every once in a while we have like a theme show. For no reason, we'll just wear like coordinating outfits because we do the secret show every Wednesday, and it's a very lighthearted, fun show. It's not an interview show talking about seriousness of flat Earth. But a couple shows back, we did do sort of a camo theme, and we've done a Western theme. For fun, we tie it in with something we're talking about. But no, I don't really have Western clothes, other than the kind of clothes women have when it's fashionable at one point to wear like a fringed vest, only because it's a fashion.
Right.
Because I really actually, ride the planes. But Bling Bling knows how to ride horses and has a horse, so she's the closest to a real life cowgirl we've got here.
That's right. And men that wear Wranglers, they always say Wrangler butts drive me nuts. So any of you guys wearing Wranglers, you should be looking pretty fine.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm surprised you don't see many men walking around. Maybe because you live in kind of in the city more.
That's why. That's exactly why.
That's where you need to find yourself a man, Patricia. Go out in the start going to some like you look. I don't know. It must be some Facebook groups about men that do cutting. Look for some cutting events, and then you'll find a rich man too. That's also handsome. Handle horses.
Be interested in flat Earth or veganism, most likely.
You never know. Don't write it off.
That's the problem.
You can always train them up. You know that.
This is true. I think that if I am to find my perfect life mate, significant other, it will be through, and I'm not doing this for that, but it'll be through what I do here with Flat Earth, because that will we will attract each other through our deep passions that we have for this, just like we attract each other as friends. One attraction will be the attraction of, a guy who's the right kind of guy for me. It'll happen. I'm not going to force it. Dating websites and that kind of thing, or Tinder. You can do that
Tinder.
Stuff. I've done, Match.coms and all of that, and it ends up being that you can't really put on there, "Hi, I'm Patricia Steere, and I'm a flat earther and a vegan." I mean, what? Literally, but what'll happen is I have put that on, because I have tried this before.
And I'm a cat lady.
Exactly. And what happens is they don't read what you wrote. They just look at your picture and write, "Hey, lady, you're pretty. Holler at me." Right. You're like, that's not the kind of. I want somebody who reads the profile and says, "Wow, that woman is interesting," or "She's into things I'm into," or "Some of the things she's into I'm into, but the other things I'd like to learn about. Let's connect." You don't get those messages on dating sites. I think that,
especially Tinder and Plenty of Fish, those are hookup sites. They're not going to read profiles. They only want to do one thing. They want to get busy.
Yeah, that's the very last thing I'm interested in, unless it's with somebody that I really am in love with, and that would come long after, the actual initial connection on like a spiritual level and, emotional humor level, and also on the flat Earth, vegan level. But would I date somebody who's not vegan or not a flat earther? They'd have to be one or the other and willing to look into the other. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
yes, and totally accepting of you. Yes, and not to so that they don't interfere or feel like they're having to take a back seat when you're busy with your thing. I've run into that, and it's not good. They're jealous of the time that you might would be spending, and you try to engage them in conversation, and they're like, I don't. Who's Pancho Pete? Like, I don't know these people, seriously.
You don't know who Pancho Pete is?
Seriously.
Right, exactly.
You don't know who Pancho Pete is. Oh,
I know. And I was just like, just listen, it's.
Well, Roxanne worked it out with her partner. It ended up great. So it can happen.
Yeah, it can. Whether it takes a couple of weeks or a year or so, it can happen.
Yeah, but can I just say something? You said something the other day on Patricia's Roxanne about flat Earth is like having the worst mistress ever. I have to agree with you. And in my case, my worst mistress must be Karen, because me and Karen are on the phone all the time, right? And my missus, I call her my missus, even though, that's probably not the correct word to use at the moment, because we're 180 degrees apart from each other. She sees things in her way, and I see things the flat Earth way. And there's a massive, enormous difference. that can never be reconciled. It will never be reconciled, you know.
Does it
that's
hurt
the problem.
you? Does it hurt her?
It hurts probably her more than it hurts me. I'm sad to say, you know, it should hurt me. I mean, all right, I've broken down, you know, and I had it all out of it. And I'm saying, like, look, you just do not understand because you don't know what you don't know, right? And it's this trying for them to comprehend what it is I'm seeing, what it is I'm experiencing, and what it is, you know, I'm listening, right? And it's this.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of it's a tricky subject, very. You know, either you get it or you don't get it, and if they don't get it, well, there is no future there because there is no future there. Seriously, it's just I take my hat off to you, Roxanne, because you've succeeded, right? But I know so many people that within the flat Earth, you know, community or whatever, that things are just going wrong because you've got one person who's flat and the other one isn't, you know, and it's incompatibility.
I ended up doing like Netflix and chill and YouTube and chill. It was Netflix and chill for him, and it was YouTube and chill for me. So, but underneath all the niceties of it, it comes down to this. Like, flat Earth's not a belief system. And until you come out of a belief system of worshipping a false idol, which is the globe, one is in a belief system. And unless someone on the panel is going to tell me differently, not as far as I know, I haven't actually, apart from Tom Wilkinson, no one's actually told me they were woken up specifically by someone, like in their household, like trying to wake them up. Everybody, as far as I'm aware, has either been on their own tangent and come across this by themselves and openly accepted it for themselves. And then I've looked into like light workers and indigo people and stuff like that. And I just think to myself, right, for some of us, I think it's instinctively in us to be awake the way we are. But for me, my partner, it was as simple as, if I don't get this guy to slow down and understand he's in a belief system, don't take it personal, babe. You know, I love you and everything, but we can't live together if you're still in a belief system. It's as simple as that.
Wow, you do that? I'm really jealous.
It wasn't an ultimatum, but that's why I ended up having to blackmail him into watching YouTube. And that's as simple as it got. It was like, you want me to give you time for this, you must give me the time for this then, and you will open and be receptive to it. And it wasn't like I forced him to sit down, but look, he watches football, he watches Formula One, he watches all these bits and pieces, and we watch movies together. So for me, the crux of it is, if you're going to sleep in the same bed as me, we're going to have extracurricular activities going on in this relationship, then the door's going in both ways. If you want me to be patient with the things you want to do, then you at least need to. Bottom line, you don't need to be patient necessarily with what I'm doing. You at least need to slow down for an hour so I can show you a little bit of content.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of you. I'm jealous of you. I'm jealous of Globebusters, you know, Bob and Cammie, Flat Earthers, beautiful life together that I observed, that I think, that I believe and know. It looks really amazing. And Jeranism and Missy, like there's a lot of couples actually in Flat Earth. So lucky for them, you know.
Everybody Equals Mind Squared. He's got a channel on YouTube. He does activism. Him and his beautiful wife, Cynthia came out to Speaker's Corner as well and went toe to toe with people. And a year ago, she was not dealing with that at all. Ruben even openly spoken about it on my Hangout. And it was him that coined the phrase mistress. He said, you know, she thought I was doing a thing behind her back, and I had to sit her down and go, no, it's flat Earth. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being on a fly on the wall and that? And she's fully convinced herself there's another girl. And he's like, oh, okay, here's the other girl. It's flat Earth. She didn't know if he was pissed or not. Literally, and that's how he got her to sit down and listen. And they spent all night talking and hashed it out, so to speak. So for some people,
I know it's kind of chronic to say, Roxanne, but it might have been better with another woman instead of flat Earth, if you know what I mean. It might have been easier.
You know what I mean? More believable. You know, it was like, I had to stay up all night and convince her like flat Earth is real, isn't it? It's not Felicia. It's not Felicia. It's flat Earth.
Yeah. Interesting. I think it's great that you did that. There's a lot of people in the vegan community, which I am part of, I guess, but I don't make vegan videos, but I've been vegan and watched a lot of videos for a long time that have convinced their mate to get involved in veganism the same way you said you did with your partner, Roxanne, kind of a Netflix and chill thing. Yeah, we'll watch what you want, but first tonight's my night, and my movie choice is the movie Earthlings, which is a vegan movie that changes your mind. And it's the same thing, like a flat earth video that changes your mind.
I think if you can just get someone to give you the respect, to give you their time, because I think that's what it comes down to, especially when it's your nearest and dearest. They respect you and they should give you the time, not just to hear what you're saying, but to actually listen. Because a lot of people here, it's like looking at your watch. When someone asks you the time, you glance at your watch, you look away and you realize you didn't really look. You have to look twice to look at the watch. You know, someone says, "What's the time?" It's 12. What was it? Look back. So it's almost a, you know, if you were to analogize it to just time's the one thing we can't get back. We can get cars, money, houses, all of that. Time's the only thing we can't get back. And I think that's the last thing that the indoctrination holds on to. It won't allow people to give the time to it. So if you can just get them to slow down, I think that is the crux. Just get someone to slow down and listen, not just hear.
That's so well said. And I really admire what you've managed to accomplish. Really, it's amazing. And then there's the people like you were saying, Bling Bling, like Bob and Cammie and Missa and Jaren and the Flat Earth Vegans. That's a couple who are vegans and flat earthers, and they managed to combine both those things. And many other couples within Flat Earth that, you know, have managed to come to this awakening and stay together through it. It would be hard, I think, to be in a relationship with somebody who just simply tolerates what you do, or worse yet, who openly mocks what you do. How wonderful it must be to have a partner who is supportive and who gets you. And like we were joking earlier, who knows who Pancho Pete is. You know what I mean? That's not what I mean,
Yeah.
Pancho Pete, but who you can say, oh, Pancho Pete did this video today, or, oh, did you see Lucy Lemons? And the other person knows what you're talking about, and then you can discuss. It would be like having a true soulmate, life mate, and
Yes.
like, that's what I'm going for. That's what we all would like to have. If you don't have that, don't feel bad, because you never know. There's always hope for everyone to have that flat earth fairy come and put that magic dust in someone's eyes and change them, because, you know, we all believed in the globe at one time and now we don't. It could happen to anyone.
But can I
like
just
that.
say
Flat
can I
Earth
just say-
fairy. I like that.
Yeah, can I just say
Fairy
something?
dust.
It's
Yeah.
like when you meet up with
Glitter.
other flat earthers, you know, it's a similar sort of thing, that you're on the same wavelength and you can understand each other and you get along really well, you know. So I mean, obviously, if someone's looking to date or whatever, you know, and you're a flat earther and into conspiracies and all that kind of stuff, you have to be the same, because it won't work otherwise. I'm pretty sure of that. You know, compatibility, it's got to be.
It would be hard for me to be involved with somebody who is interested in like what Donald Trump was doing and just doing all the mainstream things, and like, hey, there's a new movie out by The Rock, let's go see it. You know, these just very, or let's go to the rodeo, or things that are non-vegan things, and let's go get burgers. It would be so.
The rodeo.
I would be like, I would
That'd be a
running.
nightmare for you to go to a rodeo.
It would be. Now, I'm not putting down anybody who enjoys movies by The Rock or getting burgers or going to the rodeo. It's just not my lifestyle. You have to find the lifestyle that's right for you. But I'd rather be alone and poised and ready and approachable for the right person, or continue being alone till I, you know, take that long, I think, as Mark Sargent put it, dirt nap someday.
I'm with you, Patricia. I feel just about like you do.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. But and
Like,
you
I
know,
don't fret over it. I don't fret over it. But I, like Bling Bling said, or whoever, like, yes, I or whoever said that, like, I do get jealous, you know, when I know two flat earthers, they're coupled up and they're hanging out together. You know,
nice.
shoot, even with the guys, you know, if the guys are hanging out, I'm like, you know, how refreshing, how nice,
It is.
you know.
And
Yeah.
with more flat earthers coming on board all of the time, and it is true. It is true, contrary to what the naysayers like to say. Oh, it's a dead movement, or it's a controlled rollout. Come on now. With more coming on board all of the time, you just never know. You just never know. There could be somebody out there who would be your new best friend or your life mate or whatever. So don't ever give up hope. And maybe the thing you got now could work.
We're all getting to know each other as the months go past and all these hangouts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I consider you all my friends. And that's the
We're-
other thing. Those aren't
we're
your
family,
friends. How do you
Lesia,
know?
we're
You know, I'm
family.
like, yes, and family. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah.
Seriously, I feel like we're
I
family, really. You know, I talk to so many people and have so many discussions with and listen to a lot of people, you know, on these hangouts and everything, not only here, but everywhere. It's like a big family, seriously. And we are growing, no matter what anybody says, we are growing, definitely. And I can just see by the amount of content that's out there. I mean, it's, well, Mark Sargent knows, doesn't he? He does like checks up on how many hits or web pages are available or whatever, you know, and there's many. Yeah.
Right. What about, I mean, even this, like I've had a sister say, oh, I heard that's a cult. I mean, and I'm just like, okay, my sister, I'm educated. I'm, you know, like, do you really think that I would, you know, belong to a cult? And that I wouldn't know the difference. Yeah, that I wouldn't know the difference. And, but there again, they've not researched it. So they don't understand why where this passion comes from. That, you know, in other words, I need to communicate with you guys. I need this because it helps me to feed my soul, and it also helps me to feed, if that makes sense. Like, you know,
so well put. So well put.
Yeah. It keeps you sane as well. Remember that. We need to talk to like-minded individuals, don't we? For sure.
Yeah.
And it's not.
I got a book idea for you, Patricia. Here's a book idea. Flat. You know how they do like the chicken soup for the soul.
Oh yeah.
Do like a flat Earth for the soul.
Yeah. Well, I think that part of flat Earth is an emotional connection. That's a huge part of it. It's not just the science. It's not just the activism. The emotional thing is the glue that keeps us together. It keeps the activism going, where like Roxanne goes out to Speaker's Corner and connects with other like-minded people who are there with that passion and with that knowledge. Without that connection, it could be just one lonely voice on a street corner, which will never have the impact as a united front. And to see a bunch of people doing activism together, which I've not yet seen except on video, to see it in the flesh must be this amazing thing. Like, you get, I would imagine when I watch the video, I can feel it, that things are changing right now, right here. History is being made. And to be a part of it, it is food for the soul, really.
And it's amazing when you see the people out there on the street doing their activism when just randomly someone walks up and says, I'm a flat earther too. That is mind-blowing. You see it more and more and more. There's just so many more coming out now.
You don't have to sort of, you're a flat earther, are you really?
Yeah.
Wow, great.
One day we won't have to get excited over it because everyone will be flat earthers.
I get
The thing
really
is, they don't realise it. They're already flat earthers.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, Karen. Well said.
No, that's true. But you know what I'm saying? One day everyone will finally accept it.
Yes. And then we'll be laughing
Our
at the
work will
two
be
people
done.
we'll be laughing at the two people that still believe that they're living on a ball.
Yeah, the diehards.
What do you think is going to happen when everyone finds out that the Earth is flat? Then what? I feel like being in a flat Earth, I feel like there's more to it. There's more to just knowing that it's flat. Like we know it's flat, but now what? What's going to happen? Are we like enclosed in this dome or something? Where are we going to go? Are we always going to stay here?
I think we'll find out after we get past the 60th parallel, right? Without being told where we can and we can't go. Until we know what's properly past the 60th parallel, for all we know, it could be infinite.
Yeah.
It could be
And
more.
if it's infinite, I think it's amazing. If there's a dome, amazing. If there's multiple little pockets or puddles of land like ours with different suns, amazing. I'm not worried about what it is and trying to define life as, I think it's this, but not that. You're crazy if you think that.
I'm not worried about what will happen if we don't get to a tipping point. I think if we
Yeah, me too.
Self-destruct. And I think it was been reset.
Yes.
Humanity is not 2018 years old. Humanity itself, or is it? You can't prove that. We can't prove whether we're more, unless we're going to start believing things like carbon dating and stuff, which to me is more indoctrination than shit.
It's just a bunch more crap.
Yep. So how do we know we're not actually 2018 years old? And since the last reset, which would obviously have been the year 1 BC, someone could actually give us an accurate number of what 1 BC is. We'd be able to take an educated guess at how long we've got to find out where we live in before it's a reset. Maybe it's a big game. Find the reset before you get taken out, you know, and then replaced by another civilization.
I got really excited when my daughter came running in this week, and she said Shane Dawson was talking about flat Earth. So she's a big watcher of flat Earth, and I'm really excited that Patricia's going to be interviewing him. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But I do think the word's spreading, not about flat Earth alone, but all the conspiracies, all the things that's wrong with the world at the moment.
Yeah.
You know,
higher
the
consciousness
only,
and
sorry.
social media, where they meet, is where this is growing. It's like a bonfire has been lit and the blaze is spreading. And
I was about to say the only thing that I could see that could benefit us is if we had, you know, some like a film star, a musician, or someone famous, someone in a public eye who says, you know what, this is true. I am a flat earther and I believe the earth is flat, or I know the earth is flat.
They won't be a movie star much longer.
Someone has to do it.
That.
Yeah, but I don't care, you know.
Well, they do. That's why they're keeping their mouths shut.
Look, you know,
I think there's way more flat earthers.
I lost my job as well. I lost my job. I've lost my missus. I've lost my family practically, you know. We have to sacrifice, and I'm willing to sacrifice it all again for this. I would do it again. I would. They have to do the same. I don't care if they've got millions or whatever, or if they've only got a few 100,000, or if they've only got a few 100 even. A job, we have now I'm trying to think in Danish and say in English, I can't think of the word, plicht. We have an obligation, you know, to do this. We have to tell people. That's what I feel anyway. And I do tell people the earth is flat, you know, simple as that. I yield the floor.
I think it was cool about Shane Dawson with that video that he did with his brother. And I think that it was brave of him. I'm sure he must have thought about how many subscribers he may lose from his channel. Maybe he thought it doesn't matter. He has so many. But I think there's a lot of other people that are flat that maybe have big channels that are keeping their mouths shut because they like their massive paychecks too much to say what's really going on. What do you think?
And maybe they got more pressure too. Like maybe they know that their lives are at risk. They, you know, it just depends on how much they know and how influential they are. You know?
It pays more.
Yeah. And it's too scary to come to the other side because they are taking a huge drop from where they are. Whereas we've already fallen, either through health or...
You know what? I'm not buying. Sorry, Bling, Bling, Trouble. I'm not buying that because, in a way, they might have a lot of money. They'll still have a lot of money. They can put it in the bank, can't they? They've got a nice house. They can still have a nice house. Yeah. They're living in it, you know, and the nice cars they've got, whatever. I don't care for all that, you know. I don't care for all that, really. But they're not really going to lose anything. All they're going to lose is face to say that they're a flat earther, but they're not losing anything, are they? If they're going to tell the truth, if you understand what I'm saying, it's a matter of
if they lose their subs, then they're going to lose their revenue, and then they're not going to. If their stuff isn't all paid for, they still have to pay for their taxes.
What's more important, though, Bling?
The slave that we are
to tell the
taxes.
truth, or exactly. What's more important? You know, for me, I'd rather tell the truth than, you know, be a slave and pay taxes and to earn all that shit.
Not everyone has that, you know, a moral compass, sadly, and some of them have a very selfish moral compass, and they like their stuff way too much to ever have to part with it. So if they're flat, they're going to keep their mouths shut, and I just think there's a lot of them. I'd love to know how many celebrities are looking at our channels, how many celebrities are actually watching our channels and watching our content. They just keep quiet, or they have like sock accounts and fake accounts, you know, and maybe they're in the chat room right now, you know.
No.
And
what I find
if they are, like, you need to come out. You know, you're influencing millions of people. You need to make that sacrifice that Astro is talking about.
What was that?
It
What was that
pays
film
more,
where it said, "Come out, wherever you are, come out,
I
come
don't
out"?
know.
Where was it? Wanderers or something?
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
either.
I think to them it pays more. Well, obviously, it pays them more to tell lies because they are spiritually dead. If they were, if they really cared about humanity for real deal, they would come out and speak the truth, because saving souls is way more rewarding than getting paper with green makeup on it. When people die, I'm not going to die, but when people die, I mean, what are they going to take their money with them? You know, but if you do something good for humanity and you save some souls, now that is very rewarding. You know, I think that's one of the purposes that's one of my purposes, trying to save the world, just one
Very
person at a time.
Lucy, very nicely put.
Yeah, but like you say as well, it all
I
starts with
agree.
yourself, you know, because no matter how powerful, how famous, how rich these people are, essentially everything starts with the self. They need to accept it, you know, accept what it is they're,
We want the change.
acknowledging.
There's going to be a change somehow. I'm not saying everybody, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know what, Lady Co-Pilot, but if you want change, we've got to go for the change. It's not always going to be easy or nice or comfortable, is it?
I think we've got to affect the change, though, as a generation, because realistically speaking, how many people on this panel now can count? How many grandparents can you all count back by? More than 2?
Not many.
You know, how many Christian names of your great-great-grandparents can you count back? Like, I know my grandma's name. I know my great-grandmother's name. I think if I searched a little bit, I could find my great-great-grandmother's name. But none of us are even attached to our own lineage via a couple of generations. Nothing really very much survives unless you're aristocracy or some of the elite bloodline, you know?
I
So
used to live with my great-grandmother.
As a civilization, we're detached from who we actually are. So all we've got is a belief system for that as well. And we've got this thing called, you know, genealogy and ancestry dating, but you've got to look at the companies that run those companies, and then you start realizing, okay, yeah, there is some people. My auntie was put in touch with her son through one of those things. So I know that they work, but they're data collecting so that they can come out with a new narrative. And you only have to look at all of the subverted information in certain religions talking smack about where people have actually come from and who people actually are in the bigger scheme of things.
Well, can I just interrupt you there, right? The Mormons, is it, over in America, haven't they got the biggest database for genealogy on the face of the plane?
They keep themselves to themselves. They
know everything.
They don't fuck with nobody but themselves, but they're attached to their lineage. And like even aristocracy, right? They can count their lineage back 5, 6, 7 generations, and they've still got the portrait of their great grandfather, however many times back. But the average Joe Bob, average citizen isn't. And in a few generations, everyone on this panel, your great grandkids, they're not going to know our Christian names unless we do something to change that. So that
you have to pay attention to what people are doing. Everyone's very distracted with things that don't matter.
Truth, even if we don't get the truth prior to Renaissance, because once all of the defacing of what was going on back then happened, and they changed the narrative even with that. So we're living in a time now where we're either going to contribute to the real history of what's going on just now, or we're just going to let it pass once we've gone. Because once we've gone, the only thing we've got are the next generations to hand this to. And unless we properly hand it to them, the lineage is going to carry on getting dropped. And then, you know, God only knows how long they're going to live in this system for before they're ever really truthfully knowing where they are and why they're here.
Yeah, but you've already passed the baton along, haven't you, Roxanne, with your daughter, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm doing my part, like with my son, and I've got my daughter as well yet to talk to. But they know about it, you know, obviously they know about it. So it's brewing in their mind, it's milling over in their minds, you know, and there will come a time when they're going to ask me about it, you know, and we'll have a good discussion, and they'll take the piss probably. And I can also take the piss out of them if I want to, but I mean, yeah, it's not fair doing that. But I mean, at least encourage them to look into it, encourage them to, you know, find out for themselves, because I don't want to tell them. I want them to find out for themselves, because that's the best way to find out, you know, when they your own self-discovery, because then you really believe it.
Yes,
it's like something switched in your
I
mind.
was just thinking that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
Oh
Lucy.
no, I just
Hi,
wanted to
Lucy.
say hi. It's like
Hi,
something just
baby
clicks
girl.
in your mind, you know? It's not the eyes. You don't really see with your eyes in front of your head. You see with something else in here. And everyone, as Roxanne said, that she said something that was interesting, and then I wanted to add to that. Everyone's very apart from themselves, something like that. Everyone's very disconnected from themselves spiritually and in many other ways, because people focus on things that don't matter rather than focusing on each other, like you know, bettering each other, helping each other, making the communities better for everyone. They're fighting, they're competing, they're trying to impress each other. Everyone's just doing things that don't matter. And if they just realize that everything that they need is right in front of them, things would be better. But I think in order for humanity to get better, something big needs to happen in order for people to see it, because it's not like I'm saying humanity has no hope, because they do. We're going to save them. But in a way, it's like, in order for them to get better, they're gonna have to want it. And if they don't even know what they're doing, I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit, but a lot of people don't even know what the F they're doing, you know. So
I
how would
agree
they
with you.
know?
Yeah. And they don't even, most people don't even know. I say this all the time. You don't know what you don't know until you don't know. You know, in other words, how can really permanent, not permanent, but how could significant and lasting change come about with the masses of people without them at least acknowledging or having the wherewithal of, oh my gosh, I did not know that, and now I do. And then there again, I'm having trouble articulating what I'm trying to say, but let's see. Basically, you can't force someone to just take an about face. And yes, it can happen, but it comes, you know, the lasting change comes from you being extremely aware that, oh, you know, that this is not right, we've been being lied to, blah blah blah, you know. Therefore it gets ingrained into your soul. And there, I was just thinking this a while ago with Astral, like say like with the schools, and like, you know, maybe, you know, down the road. So whenever, because I do believe that flat earth will become, you know, it will come out into the mainstream. And but okay, so do we want, yet again, you know, okay, let's change all the textbooks, let's teach this now, okay, and then you just end up with a bunch of indoctrinated people again? Or do we want everyone, you see what I'm saying?
I kind of think that I hear what you're saying, and maybe it's like this.
Help me.
I kind of think that children, when they go to school, they shouldn't be taught things. They should be there to find out for themselves, you know, to experience things for themselves, you know, to learn school in that way rather than be taught something. Do it yourself.
That's what.
What can you do?
That's kind of what. Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
To be
That's
a little bit
exactly
more, you know, proactive in that sense. Yeah.
I like the topic of children because, like you said, children should not go to school to be taught something and then regurgitate it out, because then they're going to be put on the spot. And a lot of children like to play and have fun and jump and all this stuff. They don't want to sit there for 5 hours in a row. Oh my God, this is so boring. All of that stuff didn't make sense to me. So us as adults, our job is to guide the children, because children are geniuses. They are born geniuses. And then here comes the big freaking adult messing them up and putting all this stupid stuff in their head that it doesn't make sense to them. but they grab onto it because, you know, children are here to be taught by us. We're supposed to guide them, not tell them what to do, not tell them what to like, not tell them what to do, who to be when they grow up. You know, they already know it's an innate thing because we are strong human beings. We know, we come knowing until the big adult that doesn't know what they're doing comes and messes everything up. And then they indoctrinate everyone. That's what schools are, indoctrination centers for children, so that they can't think for themselves. And that's why they grab your children when you're little, so that way it won't be your voice and your words resonating within their soul, mind, and spirit. It'll be someone else. They tell you, don't send your children, don't trust strangers, don't trust strangers. But you can send your children to us. Yes, you can give us your children, send them to the military and everything. Where are you sending them? You're sending them to strangers. So it's like they mind fuck you. They tell you don't do this, but then you do it, but you don't even know what you're doing. People are being told what to do, and these children need to be saved because a lot of adults are it's like children have handlers. And if you don't have the right handler, you're going to grow up in a really ugly, nasty world. And children really need us. I really love that topic. Sorry.
I know, I can tell you're passionate about it. I'm watching you. I'm like, okay, I don't know if you're a mother yet, but you're going to be a great mother. I can
Thank
tell.
you.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Yep. Where's Karen?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm listening to you, ladies.
Okay.
I can't get a word in edgeways, ladies.
I know.
Great.
I was
heard
in the
that earlier.
chat for a little bit, you know, just visiting.
Right.
Yeah, but I was
Right.
listening to you.
That's okay. You ladies go for it. It's nice listening to you, ladies.
Mm-hmm. You go, girls, and Astral.
Well, he's obviously a girl too. We've already determined that earlier in the show.
True.
Honorary girl, let's just say.
I won't comment on that.
Yes, please don't.
But just for the next whatever it is time we're on, Astral, you're a girl, okay? You can go back to being a man afterwards, after you finish the hangout.
Well, we all have qualities of both male and female. All of us do. It's natural to be that way.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. Well said.
And it's good to embrace both qualities, those qualities, really, because
I have actually long eyelashes. Apparently, I've
a
got
lot
very
of boys,
beautiful long
men,
eyelashes.
have beautiful long eyelashes.
My son as well. Yeah.
They're wasted on the men.
Wasted, totally wasted. Because I just pluck mine.
No, you don't. Crazy.
It's not eyelashes or eyebrows.
Eyebrows, maybe.
Of course I don't
Not
pluck
eyelashes.
them. Of course I don't pluck them. It's
Oh.
a joke.
No,
I pluck their
I
eyelashes.
did know a girl when I was in like early school ages, like maybe when I was 9 years old, who was a friend of mine whose family was going through a divorce. And I noticed in school that she plucked out all of her eyelashes. That was her reliever of stress.
Yeah, me and my god sister did that as well. My god sister did that. She went through a traumatic situation. She literally pulled everything.
I just can't imagine that. I mean, obviously I pluck my eyebrows, so I know the pain involved, but yet to be so emotionally distraught that you would pluck out all of your eyelashes is oh my God, the poor pain, the poor child in the pain. But then again, you know, biting your fingernails when you're young, many of us had done that and we grew out of it. And, you know, it's just a way I guess we're made to deal with these things in some way. Or is it modern day stress? I don't know.
There is a good, easy cure for biting your fingernails.
Put some hot sauce on it.
Yeah.
Just dip your fingers in some dog poop.
Ew.
I'll stop you biting them.
Yeah, that's true. My grandmother got me some nail polish when I was maybe 7 or 8 when I started biting my nails. Because she said, oh, that's not what a lady does. And a lady needs to be well groomed. She brought me nail polish and a whole little mini grooming kit with a nail file. And I just enjoyed doing that so much. My nails grew and I stopped biting them. That, I guess, is one cure. Just making the boy or girl aware of the fact that when you bite your nails, it is kind of gross putting your hands in your mouth because your hands touch things and you could get sick. And it's not polite and it's not a well-groomed habit. So it cured me of that. But I know adults who bite their nails.
Getting acrylic nails fixes that problem for both men and women.
That's true. But then those are toxic, maybe. I don't know. I've heard.
It is acrylic.
Yeah.
We have so many products in our world that is made out of acrylic.
That's
Probably
true.
even, in fact, the monomers, some of them now, some of them are dangerous. In fact, it's weird because dentists use them in your mouth
Right.
to
That's what I was
make
thinking.
teeth.
Mm.
But most people that use monomer to do acrylic nails use the one that is safe. So I don't know. I mean, I've done acrylic nails since I kept 18
Wow.
because I was a hairstylist, a licensed hairstylist.
Hmm.
I had to be groomed, well groomed, and wearing stilettos too. Crazy, but so that's where I started. I've been doing it for years. I've given breaks to myself,
Right.
and now I do my own. I do my
Now,
own
is that with
stuff.
the form and the powder, old school
Yeah,
style, and the drill?
I I use the form. I don't like nail tips. I think the glue is the dangerous part. Putting, super glue and whatnot on your nail bed, on your nail plate, and
Right.
adding those acrylic tips. I think the nail forms are much superior and they give a much nicer job. So if you're going to one of those nail places, and they're doing those tips, it's because they don't know how to do forms, or
Interesting.
they're just too lazy to learn. It is a higher skill level,
It's
but it
probably
does
faster in those turn and burn salons to do tips too.
well. They can knock those out so quickly.
Right.
But I mean, my nails don't lift. They're not lifting. They do so well
What about
because of
gel nails? That's big in many parts of the U.S., where it's a sort of thicker sort of nail polish that's painted on and dried with a light, an LED light. And that is supposed to, I know they make vegan brands of it. So,
yeah.
it's not animal ingredients or testing. It is some level of chemicals, but that can
There's
also
the
help
the
your nails
gel.
from breaking or biting.
Sure, even like the gel polish, you don't even have to have like um, nail extensions, whether
Oh,
it's
yeah,
made
gel
out of
polish. Exactly. I have gel
gel
polish.
polish. You just need to have
Yeah.
a UV
Yep.
or an LED light to be
That's
able
what I
to
do with the
cure
LED.
it. Sure, but
Just
then
to
of course
polish.
you can build the nail using there is gel. There is a powder gel that is mixed with the monomer, and then there is the pre-monomered product that comes in tiny little containers that is also used. I don't do my nails with that product, but I do make stuff
You
with it.
should do what you talked about earlier, in case
Let's
anybody's
see.
just joining us now.
That's
Videos
what
where
I'm
you talk
thinking.
flat earth while you have the camera down on your hands as you're doing your own nails. It's a nail channel called Bling Bling Nails. I just named it for you.
Yeah. Well,
It's just nails. And
Bling
so
Bling
but
nails.
you
Yeah.
talk flat earth. So the women interested in nails who know nothing about flat earth get flat smacked while they're
Yeah.
watching your tutorials.
I've been thinking about it
It's
since
such
I
a good
also,
idea that you came up with.
just getting my room done. I needed a new desk because where I make my videos, I was using a roll top and it was a pain in the butt. Didn't have enough room, so I needed a new desk. And I thought, I know, I'll get a real manicure table so I can do my videos and my nails on my nail desk. And that's then when my salon is really cute. And then I started to think, maybe I should do a nail channel because I watch quite a few nail channels. I follow them and they do such amazing jobs, so much inspiration. I thought, yeah, I could do a nail channel. And yeah, bling bling. I mean, my name is from that I used to make
Jewelry.
I used to make actually I
Like
made
belt buckles or
thank you.
yeah.
Couldn't think of the word. Belt buckles and yeah, right. And I made little pendants as well and some bracelets. But I thought, yeah, so that's where Bling Bling comes from. And I thought, yeah, I could still use the same name. So if people were Googling and they've heard, oh, who's this Bling Bling, the BS of the ISS, and then, they could find my other channel. And
In a
maybe
way, it would be cool because you'd get to do something you enjoy, the nail thing. Plus, you'd be doing your own nails anyway, which you have to do anyway. And you'd be talking about flat earth while you were doing it. I mean, it would be maybe hard to do because you'd have to have hand-eye coordination and be able to keep the conversation going while you're doing it.
Sure. Well, I do talk, like if Margaret's sitting here, if I'm doing my nails, I've done my nails on Hangouts where I've just muted my mic when I'm using
Is
my
Margaret
drill.
there now?
She's here. She's always here.
Hi, Margaret.
Oh, Patricia says hi, Margaret.
Hello.
Because she was earlier saying, say hi to Patricia. Say hi to Patricia. I said,
Oh,
well,
nice.
I said, well, I'm on a Hangout. You know, I don't want to just randomly yell out, hi, Patricia,
Hey,
from
Margaret,
Margaret. But
what about
she
me?
does love. Oh, she loves you too. She loves you too, Karen. You know that because I do talk a lot with Karen.
I was only joking. I was only joking there.
I think I talk to you every day, Karen. We talk every day. So, yeah, Margaret loves Karen, and she loves Patricia, of course. Who doesn't? You know, Patricia is the epitome of femininity and being a lady, and I love that about you.
Thank you. Do you think there would be a backlash from flat earthers, the more darker, hateful types, if you did a nail channel or I did a vegan makeup channel? Not on the channel I have Flat Earth on, but also talked a little bit of flat smacking during it. Do you think if you did that with your nail channel, there would be any backlash, or I did that someday?
A big rise up from all the women in the beauty industry coming at us.
Well, that would be fine. But would there be some kind of, like, the people who consider themselves the Flat Earth police who go about telling people how they should run their channels, you know, make hit piece videos like, look at this bling bling chick. I used to like her videos when she exposed NASA fakery on the ISS, but now look up, she's doing nail videos, you know, and, you know, it's just.
Yeah, that's probably they'll be those armchair quarterbacks.
Yeah, capital. Look at her capitalizing off of Flat Earth, you know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that it was you that did that video, Patricia.
Which video?
That one that you just imitated.
Oh.
That was kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, well, I've
you
seen
along
so
with
many.
Indiglo.
I've seen
He's good at
hit piece videos,
imitating
and I
as
kind of
well.
know. I kind of know the paint by numbers steps hit piece videos go through, so it's easy to predict.
But you know,
what would be said.
so I monetize my channel. Everyone knows that. They see the ads. But you know what? I spend a boatload of money on my channel. Like I said, I just bought a new light. So now I can actually see better than the light that I had was too much. I have one of those ring lights because my son's an actor, and I often, when he was living here, I would be filming him while he was doing he was trying it out with a casting, so we had to run sides together, and I'd be filming him and send that. So I don't like using that big ring light when I'm making my videos, because I don't put myself in my videos very often, but I still need to see. So I got myself this cool lamp, and so that was expensive. It was like $80, and I'm always buying plugins for Final Cut Pro. I bought Final Cut Pro to do my Flat Earth videos. I had to learn how to use Final Cut Pro. I bought tutorials. I bought membership on learning. There's been a lot of investment on my part to make my channel. So just because I monetize, you know, the little bit of the money that I have made has not really paid for all the stuff that I have bought for it, but it has helped because I am out of my house because of my spine disease. I am not working anymore. And so ultimately my husband was really paying for all this stuff, and he is totally against, you know, the whole conspiracy. You know, he doesn't believe in any of it. He hates all that. I'm not allowed to talk about it. He's a Mason. Everyone knows that. I don't hide. I'm very transparent with my life. So no, I'm not going to be able to get through to him. Kind of a little guilty buying all this stuff on his dime, even though, you know, he makes a lot of money and he's never had a problem with my spending.
Well, he
so
loves you and is cool with you following your passion. So
I
there,
was just happy that I can sort of help now pay for what I'm doing. It kind of makes me feel like
don't
good
feel
about
bad
myself.
about, you know, monetizing your channel. No one should. If you want to, do it.
I feel kind of happy that I'm able to pay for some of these things myself now, and that makes me feel happy. So people have to look for the reasons why people do things. It's not always everyone, oh, they're monetized, they're making all this money, you know, I don't know what they're thinking we're doing with it, but
anybody can look on socialblade.com and it shows what revenue that person is making. And literally, unless you've got millions of subscribers, which I certainly don't, you're making nothing. You're making like $140 a month, maybe, or so. I don't know. It depends how many ads you put in your video. I put ads in my video. I put 3, generally speaking, in the beginning, in the end, in the middle, and they're skippable. So fine, skip them. It doesn't matter. And so I get about $150 a month. But people say she's only doing this to make money. Well, if you call that money, I think we've got a serious problem. But don't like when people say that the truth should be free, because what's really free are the lies. Well, maybe they're not even free. Anytime you watch a movie on TV or Netflix, there's programming in there. And children in the schools, if you're paying for your child to be in private schools, they're being programmed. Everywhere you look, there's programming, and some of it we have to pay for and some of it's free. I think freedom is what all of this is about. And the freedom is that if a person wishes to monetize their channel, or have a GoFundMe, or have a PayPal, or have fill in the blank, I say more power to them. It is their channel. They have a right to do as they wish. And if I don't like what they're doing on their channel, I just simply don't watch it. It's very easy.
Exactly. You know, like Russian vids, like it must have really hurt. He told me what he was getting a month. And again, you can go on Social Blade and look up anyone's channel. And I think it gives you a pretty accurate indication of what they're making. And he was pulling in $10,000 a month. And then they, you know, booted him off. And he lost all his subs and all that income. That must have hurt. You know, like 10,000 a month is a far cry from 150, Patricia. Or
here's mine. I'm looking at my Social Blade now. Estimated monthly earnings as of today's date, which is July 12, 2018. Estimated monthly earnings between $8 and $132 a month. My estimated yearly earnings are between $99 and $1,600. So,
you shill.
You'd be living under a bridge if that was your income.
And that's from just putting 3 advertisements on a 2-hour-long video consistently over time. I'm not, you know, I'm not making money any other way. I don't have a website. I don't sell products, you know. And I don't think it's wrong if anybody does any of those things. I mean, because people have to make money in the system we're currently in. That's the way we set that up, you know.
That's why they call it free enterprise, you know.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
And if you're not hurting anybody, I'm not one of those do what thou wilt people, really. But what I'm saying is, if what you're doing isn't hurting other people, then by all means go ahead. YouTube gives you the option of putting the commercials there. It's not like you're doing some kind of sneaky scam. It's an option they allow you. And you cannot have it if you don't want, you know, or have it if you do want.
You know, I think they changed the rules. You have to have 1,000 subs. You have to have so many viewing hours or viewing minutes, I guess, before they will allow you to monetize.
And I monetized from day one because that was before that rule back in 2015. I just clicked monetization from day one. Why? Because I wanted to get rich? No, I wanted to see what would happen. I wanted to see like what, you know, little Patricia Steere could do on YouTube in flat earth. You know, would anybody ever subscribe? Would I ever have more than one subscriber? And it was amazing to see, as we all have felt when we have open channels, that there are people who do enjoy the things we put out. Of course, there's people who don't, but there's people who do like what some of us put out, and they do subscribe and they do comment and they do share, and it's a nice feeling. And we do that for them on their channels. So it's a nice little like family vibe going on, which is cool.
And you know, Globebusters just said in the chat that he's never received a penny from either from either of his Globebusters channels. All revenues are given to Jaren, John, and Uru as a way of supporting them, which is really, really nice of you to do, Bob.
Yep. And Bob gets accused of being in it for the money all of the time. I see all of these people being so falsely accused. You know, I scan through Flat Earth on Facebook, not Facebook, on YouTube like a couple times a day just to see. I want to find new people who just got on board and see what they've, you know, maybe eventually I'll be interviewing them. So I just see what's happening. We all like to look for new videos. And I see hit piece videos on people that I know are in it for good, like Bob. And it just makes me sad. And then I realize, you know what? Nobody in their right mind is going to be paying attention to any of those videos. And when you go in and look at who's making the comments, you're like, oh yeah, it's those people, the people who are just blatantly unhappy about their own lives.
Very, very true. But, you know, like, I went to see what Globebusters was pulling on Social Blade, and I didn't even get his channel. I got something about motorcycles. Oh, weird. Because it only said
that's right. You have to separate it into the word Globe and then Busters, because there's the Globebusters motorcycle channel.
Ah,
How do
oh,
I
you
know
have
that?
looked too. You have a look too.
Sure,
I've never looked before.
I've looked at everybody before because I wanted to see like what's happening, you know, why are people thinking Bob is only in it for the money? Why do people say that about me? Why do people say that about Jaron? So I figured out that you could look on Social Blade and see, and I'm thinking, why doesn't everybody look? And you can see the amount of money made is so much of a pittance that if we have decided to be on YouTube in flat earth to make money, we're seriously demented. We should have picked something else like cute cat videos or video gaming or anything but flat earth. It's
just
not the
being
money.
a Swede and just being goofy and silly.
Yeah, like PewDiePie.
Exactly. And then you make millions of dollars. But yeah, okay, Globebusters, he's got a B- total grade, which
that's good.
He should have an A+.
Of course, but rarely. I mean,
baloney.
somebody like PewDiePie might have an A, but it's hard to get that high of a level. I'm not sure what it's based on.
I've got a B- myself. So,
that's good. I'm between a C+ and a B-, and the only reason mine varies and always has is the amount of videos I put out per week, which sometimes I put out none because I'm not on a treadmill schedule. Sometimes I don't do any videos for like a couple months, even a whole month. And other times I'm doing like 3-4 a week. So that rating is a part of the rating. A piece of the rating is your frequency and the length of time spent watching and a bunch of other factors.
Yeah, when you're monetized, you have to do so many hangouts, don't you?
I know they don't put any demand on it.
No, you don't have to have a hangout. You just, you have to have videos. Like, I put out, sometimes a video will come out and then another week later I'll have to make a follow-up video from my video. I'll do that, but normally every month. So it takes me time to do it, and
consistency is the key.
Ton of time to look through footage. Like I said, I look frame by frame. I don't just watch. It takes me all day just to watch one video that I'm interested in. So it takes time. But and then when it shows your estimated monthly earnings, it can be so varied. Like Globebusters between 41 and 653 monthly earnings. So it depends on your video and how much it was watched. It's I know the biggest amount I've ever made was The Fly. I think it was 375 that it gave me for that month. But normally I'm seeing 150, 175 a month for what I'm doing. So like I said, nothing to be able to support myself on. I would be living under a bridge, but this certainly helps with my channel to be able to buy
your
the
channel.
plugins.
Your channel, know how many subscribers you have, but your channel, I think my channel predated your channel, and you
by a long shot.
You make more than me, which is another factor people need to take into consideration. Because you've been around longer or you have more subscribers, that doesn't mean that you make more money. These assumptions people make. And
I know,
videos based on the assumptions. Just do a little research and you'll see that it's not about the money making. But having a successful channel, I would imagine, is the goal of anybody on YouTube. And successful doesn't mean money. It just means a channel that people enjoy and that people will subscribe to and, participate in the video and make some comments. And doing that requires some level of consistency. You can't put out 2 videos and expect anybody to even know who your channel is.
Exactly.
And you can't get mad at bigger channels because they have a little bit of notoriety and success because you've only put out 2 videos, or because your channel is only about doxing and putting down other people. If your channel's based only on tearing other people down and that's your sole source of content, you can't be mad at the people that you're parasiting off of because they have better channels than you. Because I mean, without those people, you'd have nothing.
We all started with no subs.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm almost at 8,000 subs now, and I'm very grateful for that.
You deserve double that, for sure.
Just over a year. I've had my channel for just over a year now, and I am proud of it. But I have worked really hard. I've dedicated my life to looking at this footage that I absolutely can't stand looking at. So it is like my nemesis. Like I have to look at it or I can't make videos. But I mean, I dream about it and I think about it all the time. And it can be quite depressing, actually, many times to be watching all this, knowing they're lying, and then thinking that, such a large part of the population of the earth believes that it's true.
Yes,
it
is depressing.
It's gross.
But then there's the part that is very life affirming and filling us with happiness about flat Earth. So it's an emotional roller coaster, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's the subs that make the positive comments that really keep me going.
Right.
You know, it's like if it was all just haters, I think I probably would have closed shop a while ago.
The hater comments don't bother me. They're pretty laughable and they're very predictable in what they say. You're like, oh yeah.
It
You
can
got a
get to
script
you.
there.
You have to. We're human beings.
Yeah, of course. But after a
It
while,
can get to you. I don't care if they call me a retard. I even have it at the end of my video. I make fun of them with the comments that learn physics, you retard. Like,
right.
get something
admit, if
new.
it's Flat Earth doing it, it's a bit sad, isn't it? Because we've been so lied to. Okay, we can't maybe suss out quite the shape right now, but we've been so lied to. We've got to come together here, guys. We're all different people, slightly different beliefs, but for goodness sake, we've got to come together. And all those flat earthers who are being so horrible about others, just stop it.
Nothing worse. There's nothing worse than a globe head troll, unless you come across a flat earth troll.
I'll agree.
True. Worse. I can deal with the globe-tard ones all day long. But
they're just indoctrinated. That's it.
And the other ones from people that pertain to know the Earth's flat as well. I was like, hold on, who gave you a job to police me? What's going on there? Hold on. If we are all individual critical thinkers, it's like critical thinking has given people the self-justification to just outright bully people like we're in a playground. That's what I don't get. And I've been subject to it myself. Patricia, I was only talking to you about this on Monday, like getting, I don't mean to use your surname, but getting steered away from you.
Right. Well, yeah, you were before we ever spoke. People told you, "Oh, she's an agent. Get away."
It's almost like at some point, I'm even mentioning the fact of even watching you would have been like social death warrant. And I started getting trolled by flat earthers because I became tainted because I watched channels that other people didn't like. So I started getting policed by other flat earthers and ended up getting myself into a riot situation because other flat earthers decided to start policing me.
And I bet you never policed anybody. I've never policed anybody.
Namely, one of the biggest flat earthers in the game.
Yes. Yeah.
Tried to call me fake.
Right.
Yeah. And that's when I just went, I'm calling bullshit to the lot of that now. Are you mad? Are you mad? I'm out there telling people about man's channel and man's telling me I'm fake. And I'm not talking about anyone in the UK either, just before anyone in the chat room wants to get any ideas. I'm talking about someone that's apparently living somewhere near the cave where those boys were in Thailand. Yeah. Man called me fake. Man just came out.
We all know who it is.
Yeah, man. I've been suspicious of her for a while. I'm thinking, but wait, hold on. What?
Well, I mean,
what?
That was a head suspicious of me on my third video. And when I had like maybe 200 subscribers, suspicious of what? I was interviewing people. Big deal. You know, I was like literally, I was literally nobody and still am at almost 14,000 subscribers. Still, that's a small channel in the scheme of things on YouTube. Let's get real.
Real talk. I've not even got 1,000 subscribers and man in Thailand saying like, I'm not real. Why?
Well, all right, everybody in the chat, run quickly now and subscribe to Roxanne's channel.
Oh, yeah.
Put your link in the chat. So
well, really, I think it's good to subscribe to anybody on panels that you're on and shows you're watching.
Everyone, yeah.
I do it.
Everyone
I have a list of subs that is visible on my channel.
Yeah.
I think
I'd have to say everyone ought to subscribe to everybody, like Robert Bosch does. You know, he subscribes to, what is it? He's got, is it 200 or 1,000 you can have?
Oh my gosh,
I've got knock one off to get one on or something.
Yeah, I've got a ton.
Yeah, and I would say subscribe to as many people as possible because that way we can all get extra content. You know, I subscribe to so many, really.
Me too. And I can't watch all of the videos. I try to.
You can't.
But I do it more as a I support you thing. When I subscribe, it's like I support what you're doing. Sometimes later they make a video which is like, I might need to withdraw my support because you're bashing other people for no apparent reason. I used to think you were cool.
That's not good.
And then I unsub, but I don't make a video about them or make a nasty comment. I just move along. And then maybe later they start making awesome videos again. And then I'll go say, hey, great video. and subscribe again, because I'm not their police. I'm only an observer of YouTube videos, just like all of us are.
Absolutely. And I find, like, some people that make content don't make 2-3 hour long videos unless you're called Globebusters, because that's my favorite thing to do on Sundays is to listen to my Globebusters. That makes my Sunday. Everyone in my household knows that I'm not available at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it is like such a favorite. But I can't sit through people's videos if you're making 3 hour long videos.
Yeah. I mean, I do an 1.5 to 2 hour long shows.
That's different. Your live shows are different. But it's like, if you want to build your subscribers, guys, here's a tip. Make short videos.
That's true.
The people you'll lose their attention pretty much after 10 minutes.
Right.
So you got
short videos and consistent. Yeah, and
Can I just,
a couple a week.
Second? Yeah. Lesia, what was that picture you just had up right now with you with a hairy chest?
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
What is that? Oh,
I didn't see it.
Oh my word. I'm looking on my laptop and seeing it there. What the heck is that? That's a man. That's a hairy man belly.
I don't see any of this, and I'm actually fortunate with the description.
Okay.
Oh, and now it got big.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So,
Yikes.
yeah.
You'll have to watch it on the playback, Patricia.
All
right.
Just because I'm a goofball, okay, and people do a lot of memes and stuff, and I was like, well, I'm going to try to do a meme, and so I put these two pictures together, and it's very disturbing to the people in the chat, and I apologize if they can see it.
It looks like we're getting corn bombs.
No, I have short. No, I don't. It's not me. But, no, there's shorts on. There's shorts, but
who's the man? Who's the man?
That's a man. Yeah,
he's got a heart. He's got heart-shaped pubes there.
I know. Well, just because I'm a goofball, and like I said, I did it the other night, and I was like, oh my gosh! I said I need to remember to change this avatar back before I go on ladies' night.
Oh my gosh! I just saw it. I can't see it on my MacBook Pro, but I have
bleach
my phone.
out. Pour bleach in your eyes.
Oh,
that's craziness.
Well, and I know, and it was at Poncho's one night, and everybody, all the guys in the chat were like, Lisa, undo it. I can't unsee this. And, so I just was kind of like, okay, this is what I offer to Flat Earth. So I'm just a little.
This is your contribution to Flat Earth.
Yeah,
this photo.
Maybe you might want to reconsider.
You might want to do a few more videos, honey.
The Earth is
I'm
a
a little
globe.
different. Yeah, I'm a little different. Yeah, just a little bit. Actually, that was my first time at trying to do a what do you call that? Like a Photoshop, but I did it from my phone. It was actually really easy. And this dude's that's his hair, like where my hair is, where it looks like my hair is long and darker. That's actually his hair in this photo, this picture. And I just kind of blended mine right in with my fingers.
Is that his back hair?
Yeah, all of that. All that is
around the front, coming around the front there. That's all his back hair flipped forward.
Yeah, just at the very bottom. Yeah, at the very bottom where it changes color.
He's turned into a man.
I know. I just was like, I was going for the shock value. Excuse me. Hold on. I have to cough.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough out. Did I cough on you guys?
No.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
to wipe my face with a tissue.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a little tickle here. Yeah, I just have a little tickle. But anyhow, like I was just kind of going for, because keep in mind, like it's a man's world, okay, and on Flat Earth, and they can just get away with whatever, and they make these funny memes and this and that. So I was like, that would be really disturbing if I put my head on this dude's face. So yeah. And then, I don't know, I just was sitting here and I was like, Lisa, it wouldn't be unnormal of you if you didn't just like go, just put the picture up there. So sorry if I offend anyone, but not really
I think
sorry.
It's hilarious.
I'm not going to
apologize.
This. Yeah, it's not, yeah, it's not.
I love humor.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. When it's time. Sorry, guys in the chat. Okay.
Oh, we don't have anyone watching now. They're all gone. I wonder why.
Well, I didn't want Astral to feel bad, so Hey, Astral, how you doing?
Takes a long time getting his dress on, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm going to change it back. I just wanted to do that.
I just wondered if I was seeing things. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And there was two of them for a moment.
I know. I know. I had to drop off of one, go to the other. And then I started thinking, oh, man, Karen's going to think she's getting porn bombed or something.
Exactly.
You know? So that's why I
What
was, like,
kind of
trying to figure-
porn would that be? I don't know if it has a name.
I'm sure we could find it on the net. They got everything now, including that.
Yes.
What do they call that? Like teddy bear loving?
Did you see that, Trouble? Did you see that Lesia's picture?
Hey, Trouble. I
She's
haven't
back.
talked to you.
No, I didn't see it. It didn't come through.
Well, I guess
Oh.
it's all for the best, to be honest. It was kind of creepy.
Yeah. It's disturbing. Don't look at it, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna change it back really quick. You know, I did it because I could. That's all. Just because I could. Mm-hmm.
I think it looked pretty good actually, Lesia.
You
Really?
would.
I'm worried about you, Astro. I'm worrying about you now.
You're worried
So
about me. I'm worried about me too, man. I tell
Yeah.
you. Ooh.
Well, they say if you're worrying about yourself, then you don't have a mental illness. So I
Joe
guess you're
Mama.
okay.
Joe Mama in the chat is asking, is it okay? Somebody tell me when I can open my eyes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm changing. I'm putting it back. I'm putting it back right now. You'll see. You'll see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And she's back.
Yeah, the chat went crazy with everyone like making that vomit face and all kinds of stuff.
It's weird though. It didn't show up on my laptop that I'm on now, but I have my phone here just so easily monitoring chat, and I saw it there, and I was like, "What am I seeing on my
I
peripheral?"
know.
I was
That's
the reverse. I
Same
never
for
saw it
me.
on my phone. How weird.
I
I'm on-
refreshed. I can see it now.
Oh, but now it hasn't changed on my tablet either, has it? Where? Oh wait, maybe I need a refresh. Okay.
But that's strange for me. I'm on my iPad. I couldn't see it either. I had to leave it and go and see it on YouTube, you know. It's strange. Very weird.
Oh, it's still there. How do I get it back now? See?
Sorry for the dog barking. I tried to
I
mute
can't
as
see
soon
it
as
on
it
the
happened.
panel myself. It's just your icon is back up. You know, the two Lesias.
Okay. But on the
Can I
chat.
just say, I don't want to be a party pooper because this has been a really nice, relaxed, girly hangout. But we've been going now for 3 3/4 hours.
But we haven't done each other's hair and makeup yet.
That's it. I'm
Because
off.
that's what girls do, right? They don't talk about flat earth. They just do each other's hair and makeup.
Oh, I just wondered, each one of you, because there's quite a few ladies on here, if you just want to say a few words exiting out of the hangout. Start with you, Bling Bling.
Well, I would like to say thanks very, very much for inviting me on this hangout. I don't do this often. I'm unfamiliar to speaking with people, so it makes me feel shy. The more I do it, the more I get used to it, and it makes me more comfortable. I want to thank you and all the flat earthers who have received me with open arms, with good intentions, who have treated me right, because it's like a second family ever since I became a flat earther. I'm not saying my family is not my family. Yes, it's my family, but like someone else mentioned earlier, flat earth is like a second family. It makes you feel accepted. It makes you feel good about yourself, you know, because you hear a lot of mean things. People can be very cruel, like really mean, and they say nasty things that make you feel like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have done this. But when you receive compliments and good feedback from you guys, it makes you feel like, you know what, I'm on the right track. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. So I just wanted to say thank you, and you know, from my heart, I really thank you for being nice.
Oh, well, if this is one of your first hangouts, you've done very well, Lucy.
Thank you.
Great. Well done, darling.
Yes, your passion comes through. I can tell you, it comes through in your voice and in your face. Yes, ma'am.
And she remembered that we've got souls. A lot of people don't talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, real talk. Big kisses and hugs to you, Lucy, darling.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you,
hopefully
too.
Lucy will come back.
Yep, I've subbed to your channel. I've subbed to Lucy's channel. I suggest everyone else does as well that isn't already, because
Sub party.
great content on your channel.
I know I have to do that. I'll have to do it back on the replay because I'm right now. Yeah. I have too much
Lesia, do you
going.
want to say a few words then?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, Karen, thank you as always for giving not just the women, but for giving everyone a platform and a place to come and share and think and discuss and for the all of variety. Yes, thank you. And I would like to say thank you to all the women here for everything that you do, all of your content, all of your activism, for putting yourself out there, so to speak, and the men as well. But since it's Flat Earth Ladies Night, and I just want to say to everyone, I love you all very much. I'm about to be having a grandbaby any day now, and I actually may or may not, I probably won't be online for a little while because I'm hoping I'll be very busy. But
yeah, big hugs for that then.
yes,
Impending.
yes, and if any of you are prayers or if
You have to let us know what the baby's come and everything.
Oh, I will. Oh, yeah, for certain. But yeah, if any of you can send positive vibes and prayers and thoughts to my daughter for an easy delivery and for everything to go well, then I would much appreciate it. And that's
You
about
got it.
You've got it without question.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you
Big
all.
hugs.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, his name's going to be Jax Anthony, Jax Anthony. Yes.
Oh,
and then,
cute.
Yes, Anthony's a family name. We're Italian, and so yeah.
I like
Did
the
you
name
say
Jax.
with a plural, like Jack plural, like Jack?
No, Jax. Jax.
Cool.
That's a cool name.
But it's kind of like Jaxa.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. No, I do like it.
You would say that.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, but, yes, and I've just enjoyed every minute of this. I'm going to mute. Let someone else go. All right. Thanks. Okay.
Lovely, Lesia. Thank you so much for that.
You know, I love you too, Karen. I love all you guys. So that's what it's all about.
Yay. Oh, Aisling, Bob's wife, has put congratulations and prayers said.
Oh, thank you. Yes, all you. Yeah, let me give a shout out. Daniel Reza, Aisling. Who else? Glowbusters, Flat Accord Music, Angel Raven. Who else? Lady Onyx. Yay.
Ute.
Okay. Yes, Ute. Everybody that came, Flat Earth Dude came. A lot of people. I put some notices out last night, and gosh, okay, y'all give some more shout outs.
There's loads of people. There's Felix. There's I can't even say it. Aras.
Felix, I meant to tell you, Felix had a concert to go to
in the chat room. Yeah, it was a big shout out to the chat room. Everybody in the chat room. Everybody that's watched the hangout tonight. Bling Bling. Any words you want to say?
I'm always scared to do a shout out in case I missed people. You know, it's funny, like, and I know I made a video and I included it, but you know, Romper Room, you know, when she would hold up her magic mirror and say, you know, she sees and I see Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, and I see Angel Raven, and I see you, and I see Martin Leakey, and so on and so on. And I used to get so upset if she never said my name, you know. So it's like I'm always scared to do that type of thing because I don't want to miss somebody and then them feel like hurt feelings. And it's stupid because even if you go into it and it says like participants, it doesn't show all the participants in there. So I can't even read that list and go, oh, these are all the people in the hangout. Like, because I've checked and it doesn't show everybody. But Karen, you are amazing. And I love
all of you.
well, it's this channel is amazing. I don't know how long I've been listening. You know, I listened for a lot longer than I ever became a participant, and now you bring me on so often, and I really appreciate it, and I have so much fun, and I love these lady nights. We have to keep doing them for sure, weekly or at least monthly, because it's so much fun, and all you ladies are so wonderful everyone in your own unique, special way. That what you're doing for the Flat Earth community is truly special, and so I'm so grateful. It's so nice to feel in great company. I hate being the thought of like being the only woman making NASA videos exposing the International
I
Fake
do too,
Station.
Bling Bling.
No, I said I would hate. I
Right,
would
yeah.
hate. I said I would hate if I was. You know, so I'm so glad that there are others, women that are doing these things and other things in our community. It's nice to feel supported by other women, even though I appreciate all the men, of course, that support me. I love to see other women involved in Flat Earth. And if you're a female and if you're in the chat, you need to come and join us on one of these ladies' nights. Even if you're not making content, you know, you could be married to someone that does. Hint, hint. You know who I'm talking to. I said to you earlier, you should come in because I didn't think you
Yes,
responded.
someone's already asked tonight. Somebody already wants
You
to
know.
come back up or wants to come on our channel. Bob's wife,
You know.
Cammie, is
Oh,
Oh,
good.
she did. She did.
I was
wanted.
thinking Cammie needs to be on here earlier.
You know, I want her to come back on here. You know,
That'd be cool.
I just love all of us Flat Earth women. I love men too, but I love as a woman, I like that I'm surrounded by such intelligent women, and that is amazing. So that's all I wanted to say, because you know I could just keep going on and on and on. 'Cause I love to talk. Love to hear myself talking. You know,
You like
I-
to talk a lot about me. Talk a lot about me.
I just
Love
don't like
you,
hearing myself. I never listen to my videos, like, or I hang out after and hear myself. I'm like, oh, I cringe. I love you too, Karen.
Oh,
Love you too very much.
Roxanne,
Yes,
any
my
words to
darling.
say? You want to repeat what you're doing with your
Yeah, of
activism?
course. First of all, though, I want to thank you for providing this platform. I'm on here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ladies and 1 astral thief. 8 ladies making myself. And if Victoria Rose wasn't so under the weather, she'd be here as well. And she really wanted to come here. And you know what, Karen? This platform is something special. Like, I'm having conversations with people across the international flat plane of existence that otherwise I wouldn't be having. This actual organic conversation that's going on right now. So first and foremost, I want to thank you, Karen. Astral, I want to thank you. Bling Bling, Lesia, Lucy, Patricia Hurst, Patricia Steere, and obviously Trouble's about. I know she's on mute just now, but it's been awesome talking to you all this evening. And here's to many more like this, whether it's monthly, quarterly, whatever you can do, Karen. You seem to have the magic juice. So cheers to you.
It's all you ladies.
Yeah, we just got to stand strong through the storm. We're going to have to weather the storm. There's going to be some choppy water as we go. And I think the realer you get, the stronger you stand. And moving forwards, I'm going to be doing loads of bits and pieces in London. I'm going to be at Hyde Park Corner on the 22nd and the 29th of July, every single Sunday in August, and every last Sunday of the month thereafter for as long as I can physically do it. And that'll be from midday. It's also a meetup as well. So if people don't want to do activism, that's okay. You can go to the cafe, food, drink, chill, chat, observe, film. Please do film, put it on your live stream. If you're in proximity to London, it's not like it's a one-hit
I've
affair.
got you on ours, Roxanne. On our channel, on the main page.
Awesome.
I'm starting to put, activism out. When they do that.
I'm as inclusive as possible. Despite people calling me fake, there's still an open invitation. If people that think I'm fake, they're more than welcome to come and see for themselves.
No one really thinks you're fake. That's just all they've got to throw at you. Just
Yeah.
like no one thinks you're a man. That's just something, a weapon they found lying on the ground like a rock that they can use to throw at you just to try to knock you down. But they're not going to knock you down. So, all that.
Come rain, shine, snow, sleet, autumn, winter.
There's
you
a
name
song
it.
by Chumbawamba, is it?
Chumbawamba,
Tub
get knocked
thumping, yeah.
down.
Exactly,
I've
exactly.
seen Chumbawamba.
You use that. Oh, do you want me to give you a certificate for that?
Cool.
I'll make one.
It was many years ago.
90s music for sure. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Roxanne.
Yeah, no worries.
Are you finished?
The synopsis.
Sorry?
No, go on, go on.
Oh, sorry, darling.
You're right.
Trouble, what about you? You got anything you'd like to add? Say, because I know you've joined late, but it's early in the morning for you. But thanks for coming on anyway. If it was a bit shorter, but
okay.
yeah.
It's good. It's always good to listen to you guys. I get up in the morning and roll out of bed straight onto my laptop because all the action's on the other side of the world. So
I just subbed your channel, by the way.
oh, thank you. I just
Yeah,
wanted to let everybody...
look at it. Unity coming together. It's brilliant.
I
There's
just want to
two
remind everybody, and I just want to say that we're designed to, our bodies are designed to heal itself. And so I've started making videos now because I see the globe as the sickness industry and I see flat earth as the wellness industry because flat earth is where all the healthy people are now hanging. Anyway, I just want to say that.
That's good. That's I like it a lot.
Thank you, Trouble. We've got 2 Patricias left now. Is our Patricia there? Is she still awake? She might just take a second to unmute. Patricia?
Wakey, wakey.
Oh,
Someone go and knock on her door for us and wake her up, will you?
Right.
oh, okay. Patricia struggles quite a lot every day in her life. She's lovely.
It's late. It's late anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
1
She
o'clock.
often goes to sleep.
Regardless, love you, Patricia Hurst.
Yeah, she'll watch it in the morning anyway. But anyway, that just leaves Astral and Patricia Steere. So Patricia Steere next. Anything
I just
you'd
want
like
to say, yeah, earlier in this broadcast, I was talking about something that I've got going with Mark Sargent next month, which is August of 2018. And we were talking about the possibility of meeting up with YouTuber Shane Dawson's brother, whose name is Jared, who together did a great conspiracy video that many have already seen on Dawson's channel called Shane. And Mark Sargent just messaged me and said, it's confirmed. We're going to LA the 3rd and 4th to meet with Shane Dawson's brother, maybe Shane. And we're going to be going there and doing some kind of project with him involving Flat Earth. No idea what it's going to be. And of course, it's not going to be anything negative because if you saw that video, it was such a perfectly pro Flat Earth piece without any mockery. I mean, there's some things I've been involved in that ended up involving the person doing it, taking it out of context. You know, just like anytime we appear in the press, Karen, you know how that is. You were in the news and, you know, they take pictures of you that look crazy or quotes of yours out of context, but this isn't going to be like that at all. So we'll be working with somebody who is a legit flat earther and who knows what we're going to be doing with him, mostly Mark, of course, but I'm going along too. And it should be cool. So that's one thing I've got. And then Monday of this coming week in July, Joey Rocha from Hawaii will be on talking about healing himself from cancer, maybe volcanoes being a hoax, his beautiful baby girl being vaccine free, being a raw vegan, and all the other magical stuff that Joey talks about. He is such a positive person. He makes shout outs to every flat earther in his videos. He's always saying things like Lucy Lemons is a flat earth hero. Just very makes everybody feel special, and making other people feel special should be your goal when you wake up. And Joey's living that life. He's really a role model himself. And thank you, Karen, for having this hangout. Oh, and Astral, I subscribed to you just a couple moments ago.
Thank you. I am also subscribed to you. You guys are also heroes, believe me. Hero heroes, yeah. You're all flat
Everybody
earth heroes.
is steps out of the mainstream. And
all the people that are subscribing are also flat earth
Yeah.
heroes. I
If
can't
you
speak
raise your
properly.
head up above the norm, you're going to get beat
Oh.
down. And that makes you, in a way, a hero because you're taking a heroic measure with your life to proclaim that things aren't what we've been told. And it's almost like you're going to get hit on the head with a mallet, but you're fine with it because it's for the greater good. So
Oh, that's what happened.
yeah,
Now it all
that is
makes
what
sense.
happened.
Makes it all coming back to me now. Yeah. Oh.
But everyone
Yeah.
else I'm already subscribed to, but I did Trouble About and Astral Live. Those are my new subscribes of the day. So
Thank you.
Karen for having this ladies night. Ladies night is a really cool idea, and it's definitely a sun and moon tradition, it seems.
Yeah, it is for us ladies. I'd like to ask Astral. Astral, do you want to say anything before we go for ladies' night?
I wanted to say something really quick. Pardon me.
Yeah, actually, there is a
One
lad in
second.
ladies. There is a lad in ladies, isn't there? But yeah, it's just great hearing you all. Thanks, for all of you. Truths, matters of the heart. I mean, it's nice that we can all come together here and hear each person, individually. And I truly appreciate it. I'm learning. We're all learning. Even the people that are in the chat room are learning. And we're growing it's almost like an extended family that we have now, if you understand. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody, Keep smiling, remember that. Keep growing. Yeah, and just look after yourselves, you know what I mean? Thanks,
Thank you,
Karen.
Astral.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you, Astral.
Well, can I say thank you to, again, everybody in the chat room? And can I say thank you to Bling Bling, to Lesia, to Lucy, to Patricia Steere, to Roxanne, to Astral, to Trouble About. Thank you so much for being here. It's a really great hangout. I really enjoyed this. And we will be doing it again soon. So
I had a great time, guys. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Lucy, say that again.
I had a great time chatting with everyone. Thank you so much. And Patricia Steere, if I don't get to see you next month because you're going to be in the LA area, I hope I get to see you in September when you come to the Jamboree on the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down in my calendar. But we're hoping to hook up with the LA people and do some kind of meetup when I'm coming to LA with Mark. Although we just finalized right now that I'm going to that thing in LA. So maybe we'll see if the LA group wants to do a meetup. I don't know. I mean, if they're willing, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be something.
Yeah. Awesome.
Can I say on that note that we will say goodbye publicly, but we often just say goodbye to each other privately, when we finish the hangout, because obviously we've been on a hangout together. So when I press the stop button, just stay and say goodbye if you can, Lucy, because obviously I say it to some people and they always disappear just as I press the button. But it's been a really great hangout. I've really, really enjoyed it. It's great to see all of us getting on. Yeah, we're all getting on. We're having a nice time, and we all had something to say. So it's brilliant. And thank you to every one of you for all you do in Flat Earth. And it's good night from us. We're back tomorrow with Joey, Patricia. We'll see. Yeah. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. And thank you from us.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I hate you guys.